The gloves are coming off. We're about to go full court press. It's time to play ball. Listen in as we tackle everything in the world of sports right now. Throw your hat in the ring at 516-572-7440. Huddle up. This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Alrighty, sports fans, coming at you 100% commercial free every Thursday evening from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. right here on 90.3 WHPC, WHPC HD. We're located in scenic and historic Garden City, Long Island, New York. And this is a little radio program around here that we like to call Sports Talk. Thank you, Tristan.
I had to step into another role. I'm sorry.
All right, those clapping hands you hear, the sound of one man clapping you hear, that's Tristan Hamilton over there.
Good evening, everyone. How you guys doing tonight?
A man over here who's so well dressed tonight. I feel wondrous.
Yeah, I feel like we say that every week.
Mr. Kevin Boston Hill.
Should we start ignoring how he dresses? We say this every week.
Sartorial splendor.
I told you why this happens, okay?
Over here, a man who's looking down. That is Josh Silverberg.
Hi, guys.
Hello, friend. Now, does your place where you work this week, are they off or they're in school?
They're not. They're in school this week.
Yeah,
But we
they have other
we
holidays.
get 2 weeks in April, so
Makes
which
sense.
is a nice thing with Passover. So
Right.
extended, so it's okay. We got Monday off, so
There you go.
That's it.
President's Day. Yep.
Yes.
And my name is Chris Muldoon, and Mark Talkie-Tarkovsky is in the back getting some papers for us, and lots of stuff to talk about in the world of sports. You know, one thing we have, though, we got tons of really good giveaways here. And so now we have a phone lines here. Like, we can have like 5 calls call in. You don't even have to go on the air. But I'm just looking. Some of these, we got tickets for the Long Island Nets. We got tickets for the Long Island Nets against the Canton Charge, against the Delaware Bluecoats. But we got Vicki Lawrence and Mama, 2-woman show at the NYCB Theater at Westport. So Vicki Lawrence, she's a legend. And Billy Gardell, who's that comedian you know, he's Mike from Mike and Molly, also at NYCB Theater at Westport. So call 516-572-7440 if you want those tickets, because those are pretty cool. Anyhow, so 516-572-7440 also gets you on the air. Are we going to talk with start with Zion Williamson, or lots of the NFL draft talk, NFL trades?
NHL deadline is Monday.
Manny Machado, spring training. The I think exhibition games start tomorrow. Do that
Saturday. Yes.
So,
And the NHL, like I said, the team across the street, they're in first place. The New
the
Founders.
Metropolitan Division. And the NHL has announced that the first round playoff games for I love this Solomon-like decision.
Oh, with the Coliseum?
the first round playoff games will be at the Coliseum.
Yes.
Right. Any subsequent games, meaning
Will be at the Barclays Center.
Center.
So if they survive the first round, then where they could actually make their money,
Correct.
they're going to.
And did you hear about
they
the
go
delay?
back to Brooklyn.
Is it that transparent?
Did you hear about the delay with the new arena again? They're having another delay
What,
now.
Belmont?
They're having another delay. That was announced today.
It's been proven that the emperor has no clothes, and by that I mean Mr. Andrew Cuomo. He just swung and missed on Amazon, so
Yeah,
I don't think the Belmont thing is, all of a sudden, before when he had the bully pulpit where he could push things through, one thing. Now that you got
I mean, look, I'm not an Islander
progressives.
fan. I'm a Ranger fan, but I feel bad for the Islander fans because I have some Islander friends that are like all in on this thing with the Belmont, and I kept asking them. I kept saying, well, why haven't they broken ground yet? This is now.
We said it was never going to happen.
This is now. We're now in year 2 of. It's about. I think it's almost a year announcement of when John Tavares was at the.
They've had a perfect storm of a good Islander team, great Islander team this
Very
year.
trots, all trots.
Being at the Coliseum and packing the place.
Yeah.
It's not a bad team. It's a good team, and they're packing the place. The only thing that the Coliseum doesn't have, I mean, it's got like 1,500 less seats or whatever
Exactly. It doesn't meet like the standards pretty
doesn't
much.
have the luxury boxes.
Yes, that's
it's
the
all
killer.
about the luxury boxes, and it doesn't have them. So...
Yep.
Can they retrofit them?
It's tough because how are you going to put those in the middle of the year?
Ever try to redo a room in your house? It's
right. They have to eliminate some of the seats that they currently have in order to get those in there. And
it's like you said, reconstructing the house. My parents had to do the whole upstairs. The guy opened up the carpet and said, "Nelson, I got to talk to you." And there was concrete under the carpet. And my dad, oh look, another $4,000 to break it open. That's great.
And you can't just put a pods outside your house.
No, No, because I think the house, I forget why they did the concrete thing, but the guy was like, oh, it's from like the 1950s or 40s, whatever they did when they constructed the house. So obviously nothing was ever done to it. They never updated it, so they left it the way it was. Hence why the concrete is there. Hence why you got to pay another $4,000 to just get it out, and that extends the construction of the week.
And they were when they redid, because I just saw it as I made my right turn to come to the station, and made it. It's now a tuna fish can, the Nassau Coliseum.
That's what my dad calls it.
It really is.
No, he calls MetLife the tuna can. He calls MetLife Stand the tuna fish can.
Well, they deliberately shot themselves in the foot. They took a dive because they wanted to pale in comparison to Barclays.
Yeah.
So they did what they did to it on purpose, and now you reap what you sow. And now they're stuck with what they have. They have 1,500 less seats, and they have sight lines. Like Barclays Center has no sight lines for hockey, but it's a basketball arena at the end of the day. And now the Nets are doing well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, just my question is how much longer can this go on for with the Islanders? Because we know Barclays wants them out. Yeah, we know the Islanders don't want to be there. They want out. And the thing is, they haven't broken ground in this arena yet. What is going to happen?
I think we've seen enough that you have to do the Coliseum. I mean, you just have to.
Bettman's just going to have to sing, look, he grew up, I think, he grew up an Islander fan, as a huge Islander fan. He grew up, and he's got to say, you know what? Let him play in the Barclays all next year. Well, let's renovate the Coliseum again. Let's make it work. We don't want this team to have the rumors of moving again to Kansas City, all that nonsense.
That just makes no sense.
It just doesn't make sense.
They have to play.
And as a Ranger fan, I don't want that. I don't. That's the thing. Like, everybody says, "Oh, you must have been laughing when John Tavares left to go to the Maple Leafs." I said, "No, I wanted him to stay with the Islanders because I think when you have a superstar that was drafted by your team, I respect the organization to say." No, they have every right to keep that guy.
Well, I also want to congratulate James Dolan for making the Knicks so irrelevant that the Nets are actually more relevant than the team that plays in the mecca of everything.
Yeah.
And, that's all. That the Nets are considered a better ticket, a better place to play, a better everything.
I just hate, like I said, when people say to me that they say, "Oh, you must have been thrilled when Tavares left." I say no. Like I said, I wanted him to stay with the Islanders. I think it would have been better for the sport. I think it would have been better for the city. And you heard there were Ranger fans the other night at the Garden.
You need the rivalry.
Booing Tavares.
And that's what it is. You need to have that rivalry because before the Islanders were always the stepchild when it came to hockey. It was Rangers and then possibly
they still kind of are.
The Rangers, then the Devils, and then the Islanders.
Look at last night. Yeah, well, and that's what the Knicks have become the Devils. They're irrelevant. No one cares about them anymore. They become irrelevant.
They still saw at the Garden.
But and you do need the rivalries. We saw that last night with tickets going for like $10,000 for the Duke, North Carolina. Because there'll be years where one of those teams isn't good, and generally North Carolina, and no one cares. But last night people cared.
Well, we'll see now with the whole
Obama was in the first row.
We'll see now with
it was a 1 versus 8. I think.
What is it? The NBA changing the age thing now. They're not going to lower it from 19 to 18. We'll see how many one and dones. Let's see how Calipari really is like recruiting now. This is going to be a task.
It's the NBA veterans who are fighting that because it's less jobs that they lose another year of a job.
Well, Donovan Mitchell said it best last night on Twitter.
I was surprised by Mitchell saying that because Mitchell.
I thought he said the best thing.
But Mitchell is a kid of means. Mitchell came from an upper middle class.
Sure.
His dad's a big executive with the Mets.
His dad works with the Mets.
Yeah, and he's from a Connecticut kid. And I was like, that's a strange thing for him to say.
But he said the exact right thing. He said, so the tickets go for this much. President Obama's there. Zion almost tears his groin in half, and he gets nothing out of it.
But the funny thing is, and that's where it bothers me. That's where
Nike's getting killed today, too, by the way.
Do you have college loans, Tristan?
No.
You have to ask.
Think about it.
You should know.
Listen,
your parents have college loans.
You should know.
That just came quick. I had to think, like, wait a minute, have I seen? No, but I don't think I do.
Because that's the rare minority of any kid your age.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of debt that parents, grandparents, and their children go into debt for all the layers of college education, like higher education, I'll call it, because that's master's, that's PhD, that's all that stuff. And when I hear someone say that they're not getting, I think about, like, my kids are junior in high school right now, and I just see the whole process of the college applications and all, and the tutoring and the SATs and the PSATs and everything, and I'm like, it's a getting college, just going to school for free is really, really good.
When I had to do it, I had to write the college essay thing and everything.
Yeah, and when you think about the, going to Duke is pretty good. It's a pretty good thing to do. So I hear
you can't say he's not getting anything out of it.
Right.
You're getting what? That's about $160,000 education.
Correct. Yeah, and he's getting the. I hate the way people use the word notoriety. Notoriety means bad, but overuse it in a different way in sports. Like he gets an already of playing for Duke.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
he gets that halo effect that he's a Duke player. So all the great things that came before him, the great players came before him, the Krzyzewskis and all that.
Because I think they were also talking today that even if, let's say that they allowed the 18-year-olds to play this year, which meant Zion would have gone straight to the pros. As a player of his caliber currently, or even when he first started the season at Duke, would he have been as relevant in the NBA now as he is currently playing for Duke?
I think it depends.
Well,
RJ would have went 1.
It depends on how he came out, how he comes out of the shoot.
I mean, RJ would have went 1, but once you get your jersey and you put it
RJ,
on Garrett, the shooter
Rowan
guard.
Barrett.
Where was Zion went before the season?
What's that?
Where was Zion before the season in the mock draft? Was he like 4th?
He was number 2.
Was he number 2?
Number
so
2.
Little wasn't ahead of him, or Reddish wasn't ahead of him.
It was Garrett. It was Barrett.
I'd say Little looked good yesterday, though. Man.
It was Barrett, him, and Reddish was 4. They had 3 players in the top 4.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? I know Nasir Little, man. That guy, he's got a nice step back shot. That kid can play.
John Morant guy at Murray State.
Yeah.
You know,
everybody
he jumped
missed.
up. He jumped up.
Yeah, he's going to be top 5. Top 4.
What did you heard what Calipari said?
He's 3 now.
They asked Calipari the question. Calipari was like, Calipari's exact answer was, "Yeah, I knew somebody was going to ask me that. Boy, did I really miss the boat on that
is
one."
Murray State in Kentucky? What state is Murray State in?
I think it is Kentucky.
Missouri
or something like that.
It'd be like,
Well, look, Damian
Stony
Lillard
Brook getting a great player.
Damian Lillard went to Weber State.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
the thing about Zion though is because we're not gonna obviously we're not saying that we're not gonna compare Zion to James Harden and LeBron and stuff like that yet. We would just be comparing him right now. The first season we would be comparing him to his draft. So we would really be looking at Luka and who else just came out? Wow, I can't even think about the other rookies this year.
Past year, I don't know.
Yeah, DeAndre
Ayton, Luka.
Right.
So if I say because Luka's going to win the
Luka's
Rookie of the
got
Year.
a jump shot too.
Yeah, he's going to win the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
I would say Zion, because you got to think about the highlight dunks, how many times he probably would have been on Sports Center.
Right.
Yeah.
He probably would have dunked on somebody by now, maybe.
Get that jump shot.
I think that he would have been maybe 1 or 2 right now in the rookie standings if I would have to bet on it.
But he doesn't have a jump shot. That's the killer.
Would he have though? Because yes, he's 6'7", 280.
I think he would be better than Kevin Knox right now.
But if you're talking about him playing,
look, that's a whole different.
But we're talking about the guys.
But now you're talking about him playing. See, right now he's playing. He's a man amongst boys.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about him playing against other people his size and as an 18-year-old.
But you got to look at the other rookies. Apart from Luka, we don't talk about nobody. We don't talk about Kevin Saxton. We don't talk about Kevin Knox.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
I think Zion he already has about 5 million people on, I think, Twitter.
But I also think
it
depends on which team he would have gone to.
Correct.
That's okay. Say he's top 5. I can't
We
remember
actually see that with that Alliance for American Football. Where they're like, have you been watching? There's like 8 teams, I guess there is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And all the execs are saying, look, there are 10 guys on each one of our teams that really should be playing in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Because it goes to show it's all about the systems. If you're a guy, a man, goes to the wrong system, you're on the outside looking in. If it doesn't fit you or whatever it is, it's you're in the wrong place, and you're not going to be it. You're not going to make the team. You're going to be playing in the AAF or whatever. The NBA draft is such a crapshoot. You got the man among boys that Zion is, and some of these other guys. This could be a really good draft this year. There's some kids who could be really good.
Oh, it's going to be really big. If you're going to be bad this year, it's the year.
But I don't know that 4, 10, 16, 26. I don't know that there's any difference in where you pick in terms of, because it's really where was Luka taken?
He got traded.
He got traded for
he's part of the trade with Trae Young and Atlanta Hawks.
And that's a bit where the Knicks are, because the Knicks, if they don't get that, the lowest they could get is 5. You know what I'm saying? So you could still.
They're going to get a talent.
You know what I mean? So if they could get, if Morant falls, if Reddish falls, if Nasir Little, who looked nasty yesterday.
Well, those are the top 5.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You're going to get one of those 5.
Now,
that's one of
the bottom
team is going to
3
ask for
have
that.
the same percentage chances, right? They did. So if you're in the lowest 3 worst record teams, so at least there's a little for tanking and you know.
I just see the Knicks getting Garrett.
But that's
Is it Garrett or Barrett?
Barrett.
RJ Barrett.
I always think him as a St.
Well, that's
John's
why
player.
I think that's why.
I think the Knicks are getting Barrett.
I mean, look,
like
I said, they should definitely take him. That's where it depends if they fall where they are in the draft. A team like the Pelicans, or somebody's going to say, "Oh,
Now
we
you
need
thought
draft
you
picks."
thought that Durant was going to go to the Knicks because of Blue Ivy. I always call him Blue Ivy. What's his name? Ivy Smith.
No, Blue Ivy.
I call him Blue Ivy, but it's
Yeah.
not Blue Ivy. It's Ivy something or other. What's the guy's name? It's
Ivy
Durant's friend.
I can't remember what it was.
But we see this week. So the Chicago White Sox.
That was funny.
It gets even funnier because they go and they get Manny Machado's brother-in-law.
Yep.
And they get his best friend, and you know what they did in spring training? I love this. So it's like John Jay is the best friend, and the I forget who his brother-in-law is.
Money. It's all about the money.
They go and they put them down in spring training, and they put an empty locker between the two of them.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, and that's the thing. About
It's like,
the NBA.
Okay. Oh, this guy,
and the
empty locker.
NBA, the NBA, you can offer the same amount unless you that's the thing with the MLB. Listen, the White Sox said it. We could not go to 300
But
million.
I said it the last time I was here. I said, you know what? Your friends, your family, they could all be in one place and want you to be with them. It's whatever. It's who pays your bills, and it's who's on your W-2, and that's what it is. It's like, you know what? You're not paying my bills. You're not paying my kids.
The White Sox went as high as 280.
Look,
and the thing was, the White Sox, there were a lot of defers in that contract that they were going to offer him. That was a big. He got guaranteed 300 from the contract.
They wanted the guarantee.
That was what it was.
The number was.
And everybody says, "Oh, well, he's going to opt out in 5 years." I said, "Listen, the way the market is, don't be so sure he's going to opt out in 5 years. He's going to collect his $300 million."
The White Sox were very upset. Did you see Kenny Williams?
But look, that's what. Look at the Nationals. So the Nationals contract came out today. The one that they offered him $300 million to Bryce Harper. There was a lot of deferrals in that contract that have come out. Now, that's the funny thing is now the Phillies are going to give him the guarantee.
That's exactly right.
He doesn't want to be there. The Phillies are good, but there's
He's
reports
choosing between the Phillies and the Giants.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to.
I think he should go to the Giants.
No, he doesn't want to go to Philadelphia.
He's a Vegas guy, right?
He doesn't want to go to Philly. He wants nothing to do with them because he knows in that city he would get destroyed if he struggles. In San Francisco, it's low key. The fans love them. I've been to San Francisco. I've been to a Giants game before. The fans love every player, no matter how. I went there. I think Pablo Sandoval was saying $250. And there were fans all around the stadium wearing
Well, it's going to change after this year, and that's why the Giants have made this Brian Sabean's last year. So that's why Bruce Bochy saw that, and he's like, "I'm getting the hell out of here."
I'm getting out of here too.
That's good. The wrong guy is going to be leading the Giants.
Oh
now. So and the owner died. The owner who paid with the stadium with his own money passed away. McGowan, last month.
And that's the thing. He doesn't want to go to San Francisco. He doesn't want to go to Philadelphia.
It's
and the sad thing is that's the amazing thing.
When you're delaying
all this stupid money, nobody can want.
I think the Phillies owner said stupid money. Yeah, stupid money means that no one wants it. Stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody wants it. Like, why is they need starting pitching so badly? The Phillies. Why is Dallas Keuchel still out there?
Now Boris is the agent. Well, it's all the pieces should start falling into place now. That
I don't know where Kimbrel's going. I have no idea where Keuchel's going.
Boris is the agent. Boris, it's like the Price is Right when they always say $1 more on the Price is Right. 1,001, 1,000. But in Boris land, it's like $20 million more. So he can't sign for $310. He's got to get $320. He's got to get a definitive
Apparently,
number.
he had multiple $300 million offers on the table, and they rejected them. And I'm like,
he's looking for $325.
Yeah, he wants a number that's going to be
10 years, $325.
So the Yankees didn't formally offer Machado a deal, but according to the reports, that Cashman was going to give him a $240, $250 range, but with a lot of deferrals, which is basically saying, yeah, we're going to give you the money, but there's going to be some outs on that contract.
They didn't want to give him the years.
They didn't want to give him the years. Exactly. They don't want to give him the years.
The AAV.
And I don't blame them. I can't blame them. I don't blame them. I think it would have just been an egregious contract.
The average annual value doesn't matter to these guys. Because it doesn't matter because
they want the guarantee.
They want the guarantee, which no one can blame
the
them for.
The White Sox offered more average annual than the Padres did. So the Padres gave,
I mean, there's a team out there. If a team could offer Harper right now $40 million to pay for 1 year. All right, play this year. Here's $40 million.
Living in San Diego isn't that bad either.
Harper can play for us if he wants to.
For $40 million, you can do it. Absolutely.
Come win a championship.
Look, San Diego. San Diego.
Come beat the Yankees.
And there's reports that the Padres, they're still in on Harper.
With Machado's contract and with Hosmer. Is it Hosmer as well?
Yeah.
With their contracts, the Padres are only at Myers. They're only at 122.
Do you know that
they could go for Harper?
They picked the Yankees to win the AL East.
I saw Vegas. I saw the odds are.
I'm like, odds are for the Yankees to win the World Series.
They gave the Phillies to win the NL East. Did you see that one? I said you're betting on Machado and Harper getting there.
Oh, by the way, my Jed Lowry, what I said was going to happen, happened.
It was fine. He's fine. He already got sent back. The MRI came back clean. He's good.
That's a good sign.
It's not a good sign. Yeah, but here's the difference, though.
Day one.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay, no, here, let me make my point then. You say day one. That's why they have Todd Frazier, J.D. Davis. All these guys, that's why they got the depth moves that they did. That's why they don't have the ifs anymore. And Danny Hechavarria. I don't have to see the Travis Tyrones and the Ty Kellys. I actually get to see Major League ball players come in when somebody's hurt now. It's nice. That's why you sign depth players.
No, you need depth players, definitely.
That's why he did it. You know what he was doing, bro. He said, all right, somebody goes down, boom, we got a depth
2 years, $20 million for one of his ex-clients. Caller, you were on the air, and did I do it right? Hello? I guess not. Probably.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
but
I don't know. Chris, I will say, that blue light was scaring all of us.
Yeah, it was scaring. I was like, what a minute.
It scared me on Piano Man on Sunday. All of a sudden, the blue light came on. I was doing piano. I was giving away tickets on Piano Man Sunday 3 to 4. And I'm like, what is that?
What did I press?
It's like, because before we had this white light, it said WHPC. Now it's a blue light.
And I didn't even know
I'm looking
that.
for a volunteer fireman to go to a firehouse.
I always see, like, Steph Curry's sister. I'm sure you guys see her in the games and stuff like that. I didn't know that Steph Curry has a brother-in-law on his team. His sister dates. I think he was a rookie. He was in the D League. They called him up. He'd been playing really good.
Yes,
Damian. I think his name is Damian Lee. That's his brother-in-law.
He's I know he's his workout partner or whatever it is, and they say he's got a chance to go somewhere else.
He's on the Warriors, and he was playing pretty good. I'm like, wow.
He's put good numbers. There's somebody
See
who's
what happens when you know somebody?
Yeah, exactly.
Go.
Hey, connections.
You know.
Yeah.
Connections. It's all about connections. In any field, anywhere.
Playing-wise, I think he's a reasonable facsimile of Curry. He's like a Curry light. Like
that's how he
can do the
plays.
things that he does. But yeah, no, I
was like, it's Steph Curry's brother-in-law. I'm like,
that was like Tom Brady and Kevin Youkilis are brothers-in-law.
Oh,
yeah,
yes, they are.
Yeah, I mean, both second marriages.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's sister's second marriage, Youkilis' second marriage. But yeah, they're both their brothers-in-law, which is kind of funny. They're big Boston sports.
I don't know
heroes.
how I feel with my sister dating another athlete.
No,
I'm not saying that I would act like how these athletes are acting, but we know how these athletes act. And I don't know if I'll be comfortable with that.
My theory was like, I'm a big guy. I don't care about like my sons. I didn't want them to be the best player in the team, but I wanted them to be the guy who could be the captain of the team. So I think the captain's the most important thing. Yeah. And I always said the captain should be the person you would trust to date your sister. That's so that was always my test. For the captain, if I could trust you to date my sister, you could be the captain.
If that's the case, I think a lot of my teammates would trust me. I'm a very nice guy.
And that's what I think matters. I'd rather my son have captain material than, because that's the kind of stuff where you think back.
And I was a captain too.
And there you go. See?
That's good. I was.
Captain, my captain.
I was a captain. Defensive captain.
This would have been a perfect conversation last week for Valentine's Day. See that?
Definitely. I should have brought it up. Ladies, are you listening?
We were going to have that with KJ Brooks. We were going to have a date with KJ Brooks. And he used the smooth voice. Oh, ladies.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, that is a weird
true,
thing.
I never looked at it like that. That's true.
That's what I said. If you do like fantasy sports, the commissioner should be someone you let date your sister, someone you could trust,
somebody you can really
trust, and all in terms of that's what you want. A guy that will help you move or drive you to the airport, because those are things that people don't want to do. They don't want to do that.
Did you guys start to go back to our whole 9 o'clock talk? But you see, even obviously some players showed Zion some love. They're always doing. Somebody gets hurt on Twitter. But you heard what Isaiah Thomas said? He basically, he didn't say nothing bad, but he basically said
Isaiah old or Isaiah Young?
The Isaiah Young.
Okay.
Yeah, the Isaiah Young. So,
the one from the Celtics.
The one from the Celtics.
Because I'm old.
Oh, he's on the Nuggets now.
Yeah.
See, that's like the LT test.
Yeah.
You say LT to me, I'm thinking Lawrence Taylor. You're thinking the Lady and Thompson.
That's true. I do think of LT. And I don't know. Thank God Isaiah Thomas is a Hall of Famer, the old one.
By the way,
because if
let
I had to get some name,
LT.
Because he got that name through a bet.
Yeah,
because his father lost the bet, so he had to name him Isaiah Thomas. Thank God he's a Hall of Famer. Because if it was somebody like Ronnie Turioff or something, we'd have been upset. But he's basically told Zion, he said, since you have such a big chance in going to the NBA, what you need to do is sit out for the rest of the season, and we'll be waiting for you when you come. So he said, and then some people were saying, "Oh, should he do it? Should he try to play for the tournament?" And honestly, this is the first time in the situation I'm really stuck in the middle, because this team I don't want to compare them to like the Fab Five, but this team with the whole bunch of freshmen and everything, they're really good. They're really good, and something good could come out of this. I know you guys said you guys would pick, that little bunch if the tournament were to start. I said I would pick the field, but the NBA, he's supposed to be a star. He's supposed to be a star. So with this injury, I'm really stuck on what I think he should do. I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, see,
in terms of shutting it down?
Yeah, shut it down for the rest of
the season. What did I say to you?
But you said you think he should shut it down.
I said I think he should shut it down.
But do you know if Zion shuts it down, there's no way Duke is winning a championship.
Oh, no, absolutely not. You saw how they were yesterday.
I agree with that.
You saw how the inside game.
Look at the inside scoring for North Carolina.
They were nowhere near as formidable without Zion.
And that's
So plus they were in a state of shock.
And that's we've seen them without Jones against Syracuse. They look bad. We've seen them without Reddish against Syracuse. They look bad, but they kept it competitive. We see them without Barrett. They look bad, but without Zion, because
they have no defensive presence in the middle.
It's different. It's totally different.
Carolina feasted on the inside game.
Just do it inside. I'm like,
it started with the football bowl games where guys started sitting it out. Right after that one player, I think it was a Notre Dame player, got hurt.
Yeah, and then Greedy Williams didn't he sit out? He
some number of guys have done it.
Yeah, it was a lot of LSU. Basically, LSU's first time standing up.
But that makes sense because they don't have to be academically eligible by going to class for the second semester. They don't go to class the second semester because football ends, and then second semester they're out doing combines and working at the professional agents' exercise places out in California and Florida and stuff. But basketball is a different animal because it's a second semester sport.
I wanted to ask you guys this question, right? How big does the NFL draft switch now? Let's just say maybe not the whole first round, but say top 15 because he projected to go there. Now that Kyler Murray is definitely going to the NFL, does it really switch up not the whole draft because it only could go so far, but
somebody's going to take him.
But it's all about the combine.
Much does he switch
combine?
It's all about the combine. There's going to be a team that's going to fall in love with him, and if they do, then Kyler Murray becomes the first person all ever to be drafted top 10 baseball and football.
No, Arizona. Right now they have him at the door.
Arizona's taking Bosa. They're not. They can tell they want about Josh Rosen and whatever.
Because I was thinking if they do go quarterback, Arizona, which I doubt it. Even so, I still don't think the Jets could get Bosa because the Raiders, they have to find somebody.
I'll take Josh Allen.
Well, that's the thing.
I'll take Josh Allen too, but they have to find somebody for Khalil Mack because we've seen what Khalil Mack just did, and they have to replace him.
The Raiders have 3 picks. They're going to get one of the Clemson guys to replace him.
I'm just scared.
But the Josh Allen thing is interesting. Do you know how he wound up?
That's what I'm saying. They go another 2.
Do you know what?
Just 3.
No, it's Cardinals, Raiders, Jets.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Cardinals, 49ers, Jets, then Raiders are 4.
Oh, but either way, I still have the second team taking Bosa.
I think San Francisco could. Well, if the Cardinals or somebody bounces up number 1 to get one of these quarterbacks, that helps.
Well, who wants a quarterback though? Jacksonville, who picks 7, so they're in good spots.
Jacksonville, Giants
pick 6. Jets and Giants are not trading.
Have you guys
the Jets are doing nothing to help the Giants and say, we took Darnold last year. There's no way they're helping.
Have you guys seen Saquon is working out so far, but I guess we have to see what.
That's what I laugh at. They're saying, the Giants missed on Darnold. Saquon Barkley is a generational talent.
Did you hear about Le'Veon gaining 40 pounds?
He's going to lose it right away. He always gains weight.
I hope so.
Listen,
he's doing very smart. He's keeping his mouth shut.
Le'Veon is going to lose it.
And I'm very serious. You know who I'm very, very, very concerned about? Antonio Brown. No, I'm serious. No.
He's going to be a Steeler. When it's all said and done, he's going to be a Steeler.
Here's why. Did you see the video that he posted? I'm not. No, forget that. I'm concerned. I think there's something mentally wrong with him. I'm very serious. I really think there is something wrong with him.
And it could be. Somebody just did a comparison between Brown and Owens.
Oh yeah, there's something mentally.
And their upbringing and how they were very similar.
Did you watch this 10-minute Instagram video?
That's what I would say. I'm concerned about this young man.
It was a 10-minute Instagram. I was watching it. I'm sitting there watching this video on my phone, and it seemed like on the treadmill sweating, like just talking, just spewing stuff, and I'm going. I actually said, "My God, I actually really do feel very scared."
There's
for
a
this
legendary
guy.
Hall of Fame writer named Paul Zimmerman, Dr. Z. He was right for the Post.
He can't
Sports
be here in
Illustrated.
New York. He can't.
We had him as a guest. He did no shows, but then he had a stroke 6 months after we had him. He just passed away. Peter King was a huge fan of it. They worked together. But it was me and this guy, Andrew DeMarco. Andrew DeMarco was one of my co-hosts who was very, Strong Island kind of guy, like the Italian guy. Hey, how you doing? That kind of guy. Yeah. So all of a sudden we get on my first question to Dr. Z gets on. I'm like, how do you deal with a problem like Terrell Owens? And then Dr. Z, Paul Zimmerman, his very answer from Sports Illustrated was, with professional help.
Yeah, he needs it.
And we all laughed.
Yeah.
Andrew was like, he's like, no, I'm serious. And he went into what you just laid out. I mean, that is what's going on with Antonio Brown.
I'm
concerned for the young man. It
can almost be as bad.
But you don't
bring him to the Jets.
No, I'm not saying bring him to the Jets. Listen, if I'm the Jets, and I think my top 3 free agents, I think the Jets is reasonable and that they should get. I think they should go after Bell. I think they should go get, like you said,
Paratus.
They should go get
the Broncos. Broncos.
I think they should go get Golden Tate.
I
we
agree
need a
with
wide
you.
receiver,
Yes.
and I think we need to go really try to, because they're going to franchise tag Clowney. I think we need to bring in Tyrann Mathieu.
I'm hearing Lawrence.
But
I'm hearing Lawrence
no,
doesn't want to take. No, he doesn't want it. He won't do it for Dallas. He will not take the franchise tag.
Well, listen, he's going to.
Sean Lee's going to be released by the Cowboys.
Yeah, he's going to be released.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
But my point is, and you guys know this better, a lot of stuff was saved back in the days because of not having social media.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
the type of play, what you got to understand, these great players.
He's worse than Beckham.
No, but you don't. But you can say
Well,
that.
that's
but,
like people say, "Oh, Beckham's not so bad."
No, he makes Beckham look normal. He makes Beckham look normal, which is saying a lot.
But you got to think about it like this. That, like I said, there was no social media back in those days, but all these players that we talk about, Kobe, Jordan, and all of that stuff, you hear stories about like basically how crazy for the game they were. We're seeing it, but maybe if we would have seen it too, we'd have been like, "Hey, Jordan had punched Kerr in the face. Kobe punched, elbowed, I forgot. These guys were crazy for winning. I just think you don't know."
Well, the thing with the worst thing that Brown still did was from last year with the Tomlin in the locker room kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was really bad. Now he's saying the Roethlisberger stuff, which was like, well, okay.
Wait,
but my problem is,
all Roethlisberger's teammates are like, what
you're a receiver.
Yeah.
You don't touch the ball unless someone gives it, throws it. Not even gives it, because a running back's going to get 30, 40 carries no matter what. Yeah. A receiver can get 0.
Yeah,
you don't have to give the ball to a receiver.
Like I said, just watch. If you haven't seen the video, just watch it, and you could just watch and you go, I'm actually very scared for this man. And I'm very serious. No, I'm very worried about this guy.
Well, the
because I'm watching,
Steelers
I go, there's something
There's
off about
bad
him.
things going on there, just with the ownership,
No, but
the
with
management.
he's like sweating profusely. He's like saying, and I'm like, what is he talking?
Yeah, it's a strange.
Like, it's just a very strange, awkward
social
video.
media.
I was very uncomfortable.
Well, you have
watching
people
the video.
the people you choose to
And I
hang out
wanted
with think
Antonio
you're the greatest
Brown.
thing in the world and tell you the greatest thing in the world.
And
so
I
you go
wanted him
on social media.
I wanted
and you
him
say
on the
stuff.
Jets. I wanted him.
Some guy
I don't want it now.
This is funny. Some guy just posted. I think actually he's a Democratic congressman, but don't worry about what party he's from, whatever. But he posted because what he was doing was trying to make something go viral. Forget what party he's from, because he got excoriated by both sides. He's in front of Trump Tower. He's like, I'm in New York, snowy New York. I'm really thirsty for coffee. The closest Starbucks is right there in Trump Tower, but I'm not going to go there. So he was looking to be viral and funny and blah 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 blah. But instead, he just got killed on the internet because they wrote back. They did a Google map which showed 7 coffee shops. Oh, it's Starbucks. It's New York City. There's one right over there. Everything would just like kill them because like he's looking to be. It's like before you post something, realize that you're not funny. You're not. It's like no one cares. And everything.
Tristan and I found out there were 2 Starbucks near each, 2 Dunkin' Donuts and whatever it was.
I was in Dallas. There was a Starbucks across from Dallas.
I'm at Dunkin' Donuts too.
Which one?
Which one?
But you were in Penn Station, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I think the guy really does need to just get some help. I'm not saying it to be funny. I'm being very
Josh Allen, the guy from Kentucky. So he was, which is why he played football for Kentucky. He's from New Jersey. First off, which no one knows, he's from New Jersey. He was so lowly recruited. The best scholarship. He got Monmouth, Rutgers. Kentucky was the best quote unquote football scholarship offer he got. To think what he did this year, he's going to.
How did Khalil Mack get the Buffalo?
He could wind up being number 2. He could wind up being number 2 pick. Josh Allen.
How did Khalil Mack get the Buffalo?
I don't know how the Khalil Mack
That's
story
what I'm saying.
is.
They
had a good at the time. They had a good coach who was a good recruiter.
But I mean,
the guy Turner Gill.
I mean,
was
look,
a very
you're
good
Khalil
recruiter.
Mack, though. I mean, that's a whole.
Yeah, but he's a linebacker, and they develop a weird kind of.
Yeah, but still, though, I mean, you get a guy
and
like
now
that.
it's all about
and now he's awesome.
It's all about the edge rusher, right? It's all the edge rusher. It's all like when you look at the mock drafts, every guy's an edge. There's like 6 or 7 guys who's listed. They don't list him as a defensive end. They don't list him as a linebacker.
No, it's all edge rusher. Yeah,
and then you had the guy. Who's the guy who tore his ACL there was a guy last week, supposed to be like a 10th pick overall, but then they have film of him
the kid
beating
from,
up a girl who was fighting with his sister when he was in high school. So it's like great. Now there's even more stuff.
To the combine?
There were 2 guys who didn't get invited to the combine. It's just so stupid that they're not invited to the combine.
Yeah.
But it's just
the
NFL's become this year-round thing. Like Joe Flacco was traded last week, but he wasn't. Because the NFL's calendar doesn't start until March 13th.
How is that even?
But they're not.
It's like can we sign Le'Veon Bell?
Until March 13th. Though on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day.
Can we do that?
You can have all the negotiations. You just can't put anything down on paper.
Whatever you do, are they doing
like
it?
Eli Manning.
And
so Eli Manning's going to get $17 million this year. He gets a $5 million bonus on March 17th, but he's going to get $17 million. Do you know that Tyrod, because his name is Tyrod, not Tyrod, right? Tyrod Taylor got $16 million last year just to be the bridge for Baker Mayfield. Mayfield.
McCown got $12
So
million to be rich for
17 is
Darnold.
not is not a bad thing to pay this guy. It's
McCown is not coming back, right?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
He's been doing TV with the NFL Network.
I don't think so. I mean, there were reports.
You've been saying that he's going to go to straight. Well, you said he's going to be a coach.
Well, there were
Sure.
reports. I
He's
think
gonna be a coach for sure.
I think there were reports that when Gase got hired, they were going to hire him as a QB coach. But then
I think he's still got
has
gas in the
to stay on
tank,
as
though. I
QB
think he's
coach.
still got he's going to play somewhere.
Yeah, I think so, too.
He's too smart. He knows every system.
Yeah,
he knows every system. He can play in whatever you want him to do. The Bengals hired their and
did you see who they hired as defensive coordinator
today?
They hired the defensive backs from the Giants.
No one could take the Bengals. No one was taking the Bengals defensive
nobody
coordinator
wanted
jokes.
the job.
Well, no one was allowed to. The Saints guy wasn't allowed to interview. The Ohio State guy decided not to go. So they hired the Giants defensive backs coach.
Why didn't they just hire Rex Ryan then?
Rex Ryan is on TV for good. He's good.
Do you really have to answer that question?
I mean, look, as a defensive coordinator, Rex could probably still.
And actually, I like NFL Countdown.
Think about this. You're
so bad.
You're a rookie head coach. You're a rookie head coach. Do you really want to have Rex Ryan as your defensive coordinator? No way. No way. Just think about it in your life.
He's a good coach.
Think about your job, okay? Do you want to have, I don't know, Coach Meller from the Goldbergs? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a famous gym coach come into no, you don't want to have someone who's going to eat your lunch. So it's like, nah. So it's, and then they got Flores down in Miami. Do you know his agent is also the agent for Kyler Murray?
Yep. So that is a report that they're intrigued by him.
Yeah, but they picked 13.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make it there.
My
unless
thought,
they trade up.
My thoughts,
I think he's going to make it there. I think he's going to the Dolphins.
We got to see.
And they talk about is the rumor true about Russell Wilson to the Giants?
No, Russell Wilson ain't going anywhere.
You think Russell?
He's on a rookie contract.
Listen, Russell is the face
of
Seattle.
He still has another year to go.
He's the face of Seattle. But listen, Russell Wilson.
But Russell Wilson is the guy I want to talk about. Do not compare Russell Wilson to Kyler Murray. I'm tired of hearing it. Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is stocky.
He's bigger.
He's built. He's
even
like
RG3 was small, but he was bigger than.
He's built.
But you know what the thing is? What they say is true. Kyler Murray was behind the best offensive line in college football.
6'4", 6'5", 6'4", yeah.
And he did fine, passing wise, and everything.
And I know this is a stupid thing to say, but explains it. He's always been short, meaning he always was at this height. He always succeeded being the shortest guy on his team, the shortest guy in the league.
I watched the interview with Chris Paul, like when he was younger, and he was talking about like how he had to do, establish his game because of his height. And I like it. He said he's vertically challenged.
Well, he
said he was vertically challenged.
I always think so. My favorite basketball player of all time was this guy Ralph Sampson. He was 7'4", but growing up, he wasn't 7'4". He was a short guy. He was the point guard in his team. So he learned the best dribble I've ever seen in my day is 7'4". Ralph Simmons was great. David Robinson was a 6'6" computer geek. Played the piano. He was a guy who to get into the Naval Academy, he took apart a computer. He grew. It's just he knew how to handle the ball. He knew what to do as a short player. So it's like Kyler Murray's always been small. He's always done these things. But I think of the Drew Brees play in the playoffs where he just threw the ball up in the air in the middle of the field, didn't see anything. That's what happens when you're a short quarterback and in the fog of war, and all of a sudden you're just that's what happens.
Honestly, and then we can say that, and what you're saying is true because his height did play a factor like that. But being a Jets fan, I seen Mark Sanchez and Geno Smith. I seen a lot of those balls go like that with 6 foot plus guys.
Well, those are just idiots. Exactly. That's just bad quarterbacking.
It's bad when you're watching TV and you know something bad is going to come out of a throw that just guys. You're like, wait, it's going to fall into somebody else's head.
Very good friend of the show.
Like somebody said, pull. Keep shooting.
One of the best friends of the show, Ralph Vacchiano, who we have to have on. He's covered the Giants forever now. He's on SNY and all the shows. He was talking about the first time he ever covered the Giants rather. He was a Giants beat writer for 25 years. Dave Brown out of Duke was the quarterback. And he said it wasn't until the next year when they got Kerry Collins that he didn't know that a quarterback had to throw a spiral. Because Dave Brown was such a bad quarterback. He's like, I didn't know quarterbacks could throw spirals until I saw the next year at Kerry Collins game. It was like that's the way it was. But it's the draft's gonna be interesting because I think the Jets at 3 have a good place to be. They can get what they need there. The Giants, Haskins. Everyone's gonna see Haskins and think he is what he is. Haskins is Roethlisberger. He's not mobile unless he has to be. He's just a big guy who's got this arm like you won't believe. And if the Giants get him at 6 or move down and get him, oh my God, he's phenomenal. I didn't. He
could play.
I didn't pay enough attention to him until after the season, and then I see this guy. He can make every throw. He's big. He's not mobile. He's a pocket passer.
He's just exactly. And the thing is, I watch because I like.
Everyone's going to see in a stereotype. Oh, he's an African American quarterback. No. He's as white quarterback as they come. It's like he's the pocket passer. He's Roethlisberger's. He's mobile when he has to be. He's 6'5", and they said he only started 14 games. I don't care.
Yeah.
He only started 14 games. I'm fine with that.
So I watched Wisconsin. I watched the Big Ten, and I watched him play in every game. I mean, the Maryland game alone.
Yeah, the Maryland game matters because he committed to Maryland first.
Yes, but that was the thing, though. They were down.
No, that
and I'm thinking Maryland's gonna blow them out, and I was like, "Wow, this guy does not quit." And he's hard to get down. Like Chris said, there's a lot of Roethlisberger in this guy that I just see it.
They were talking about that situation that happened before, with the kid, unfortunately, and that game was a big game. I did not, at no point during that game, guys.
About the Michigan game,
I'm gonna be honest. At no point,
took Michigan to the woodshed.
At no point during that game did I think Ohio State was going to win that game.
He took Michigan to the woodshed.
At no point in that game, I thought the
Michigan game was over after the first quarter.
Russell Wilson also started this thing of where people would transfer for 1 year and go play whatever. Now we're seeing all these guys who've been. Mayfield was at 2 colleges. Kyler Murray was at 2 colleges. We're seeing in Oklahoma.
Well, they put that rule in there now.
Yep,
they put that rule in there.
I love what they call it, the transfer protocol or transfer protocol.
Yeah.
Sounds like a movie. Liam Neeson in transfer protocol.
The Georgia quarterback, he just transferred to Ohio State.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. So now there are these 2 quarterback whisperers.
And he was a 5-star recruit as well.
The one guy at Oklahoma who's become the quarterback whisperer under
he's supposed to be
Lincoln.
a top. He's supposed to be a top.
And so they just got Jalen Hurts there.
Yeah.
And then in Oklahoma and Ohio State, they got a guy named Ryan Day who developed Haskins in 1 year. Yeah. And now that's where Landon Fields, wherever his name is going.
And that's the thing about Fields is he's supposed to be a top pick in the draft in the future too.
So
but the thing was because what's his name from Georgia? I think it was
Fromm
was already there.
Well, they have 3 guys. Landon Fields has moved on to Ohio State. The kid Tony Easton's son went to Washington State because of Fromm. Fromm made all those guys move.
And Fromm's going to be a top pick too. They're saying.
And then you got
Lawrence from Clemson.
The Notre Dame kid transferred to Central Florida. Yeah. So that's going to be this for 1 year. These kids are all going to be.
So when does Fromm come? So I guess Fromm will come out probably. I guess in.
He was a freshman last year. So freshman in 17. So
weren't there some quarterback moves?
Imagine so be like him and Tua, then you got Lawrence. And, oh my God!
Weren't there some quarterback moves right at the end of the season? Notre Dame.
He went to UCF, Central Florida.
Okay, and
Jalen Hurts from Alabama went to Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley, replacing Kyler, who replaced Ben Mayfield.
He's going to win the Heisman.
He will. Hurts is going to
certainly 2 years in a row.
And I'm not saying that because it's just only 2 years in that system. Because that system,
Hurts is going to be good in that system.
He can run faster. I think he runs faster than both of them, Baker and Kyler Murray.
He's
bigger than them.
It's like
he's bigger. But I think he runs faster. I just think
his accuracy just isn't as. That's the problem.
I know what I think. I think you got to realize is that he was hurt. He had a messed up knee last year.
Yeah,
I think he's faster than both of them.
Did he win a national championship?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I mean that's
first year.
He beat them the first time. Yeah,
so I mean that's quite a pedigree.
His freshman year he won. He beat who did they beat in that game?
Well,
it was Clemson. It was Clemson.
They beat Clemson, Alabama.
They beat Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
But that game was a good game.
Yeah.
And then Deshaun Watson, with that last
back,
game.
And then
so now
they got eliminated.
The first round quarterbacks, Haskins, obviously, who's the one. He's number 1, obviously, in terms of. And then 2A and 2B. You got Drew Lock from Missouri, who I love as an NFL quarterback.
And you got Daniel Jones.
First round, yeah.
And Daniel Jones.
There'll be Daniel Jones from Duke and Kyler Murray. That's 4.
That's 4.
4 right there.
And let me tell you something. Teams will trade wherever they can if they feel that that's the. You don't think Washington
most
is going to do it?
Most important position on the team.
Washington will do it. Teams will say, "Listen, if we feel that this is the guy, we'll trade the farm."
Oh, you know who's another free agent? I think the Jets should really get a nice. I was like, I know I just jumped up because I saw the report.
You didn't stand up this time.
Emmanuel Sanders from Denver.
He's a little
I know
older.
Joe Flacco just came.
I know, but he's a little older, though. That's my only concern.
I mean, but Antonio, he can't be that much older than Antonio Brown.
Isn't he like 32, 33?
Well,
they played together.
The thing with
at Pittsburgh.
Thing with the Jets, I like Golden Tate for the Jets because he's a veteran who'll take the money and go there.
You put a Nunwa,
but
and then you get
the thing with the Jets is just like the Knicks.
If they get another,
they got all this money to give, and nobody's taking it. But nobody's taking their money.
I just saw a report that the Jets is a little worried about Le'Veon Bell's weight gain.
That's garbage. No, I think that is. I think that's the Jets putting a ploy in. That's throwing it out there. That's
80 cents on a dollar.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all.
That's actually what they're doing. They're trying to bid themselves. I think. What's going to happen? They're going to bid themselves.
Once the bidding starts, they'll drop the pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, look. You're hearing the report that there are buyer's remorse for Tremaine Johnson, and I'm like, well, hello, they got Greg Williams who brought out the best in Tremaine Johnson. So I think that's also a motivational ploy by the Jets to say, look, We know what we gave, but we're going
to.
Yeah, but even when
you know what's going?
That first game against the Trade, when he caught the interception and he fumbled the ball.
But how about the whole?
I was like, oh, this guy.
I don't know if you talked about it last week. The soap opera that is now the coaching staff with the Jets.
Oh, stop! That's nothing. They already said they settled it down already.
Well, let's
it was Greg Williams' kid.
No.
But you have a story. The situation.
All right, so here's the story. So the New Orleans Saints had their bounty gate, right?
I remember.
Oh,
yes. The person who was the number one testifier. Greg Williams got suspended for a year.
No, it was the linebacker.
The number one testifier was Joe Vitti. Joe Vitti is the father-in-law of Adam Gase.
Oh.
Joe Vitti's the number one testifier against Greg Williams, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So Adam Gase is hired to coach the Jets. Mm-hmm. He hires Joe Vitti, his father-in-law. He hires Greg Williams as the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, you have to squash that right away.
Now they've hired Greg Williams' son.
Yeah.
It's like they're trading favors to be like, don't be mad at my father-in-law, I'll hire your son.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I think it is, and I think that's how you settle it.
Have you ever been sued? Have you ever been sued? Ever gone to trial?
Oh, no.
You don't like the person who testifies against you.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
You don't like, that's an enemy for life, okay?
I mean, like I said, the report...
I don't care if he saves your life. You're the guy who put me in there, it's like, put you in the cling. Our show is very popular at the correctional facility. The station comes in very well. If you ask guys over there right now, they'll if they like the guy who testified against him, not so much.
Well,
it's not a thing.
I know I'm all about me being the fan that I am, like the power of positivity and everything. I try to be. And my thing is, look, the reports are that they talked about it, Gase and Williams, and Williams talked to Vitti already in response to it. They've apparently cleared the air. Vitti gave him. And Williams and he have talked. Apparently, they've gone together already and they've spoken about defensive schemes.
They say
kumbaya. They say so. At least, hopefully, it's a squash situation. It doesn't. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I think it was just a.
Remember who employs them?
Yeah, well,
and remember. Greg Williams always wants to be the head coach.
Oh, absolutely.
And also there's the dynamic between...
He can be the head coach of the defense.
There's also the dynamic with the offense and the defense.
He's actually the head coach.
They call him the head coach of the defense.
Exactly. That's not good. That was Buddy Ryan with the Bears.
Yeah, exactly.
Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka.
Well, what happened after they won the Super Bowl? Ditka got raised, and then the defense raised Buddy Ryan.
Yeah, which was a bad thing.
Which was a bad thing.
Bad thing. And which is why you have William Refrigerator Perry rushing for a touchdown, and not Walter Payton.
And Buddy Ryan was like...
And not Walter Payton.
I watched that documentary, and he said if he had a chance, he would do it over.
Of course.
Yeah,
you have to.
I was watching because they had to put that right at the end of the documentary, and I'm watching. I'm like, I hope he says it. I hope he doesn't lie to himself.
I was 15 years old watching that, like, you don't give Walter Payton. It's like, yeah. No,
I mean, look, I look at it like just like I said. The reports are that yes, Gase is the head coach, but it's 50-50. Right, what it is.
Which is, not good.
I mean, look, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
We know that defense is going to be
like
great.
They say in government, it always worked. Like when they'd have a cabinet, they would have a cabinet of rivals, which is the right thing to do because it made everyone trying to be their best or whatever. Because as long as the president's still the president, but it doesn't work that way.
Well, Rex Ryan tried
to
be the head coach. Todd Bowles tried to be the head coach, and it didn't work. That's why you got to have the Jets had to go a different route. They had to. They had no other option. I'm sick of the same route.
Like no one's doing a coup against Belichick.
No, it's just.
Greg Williams will do a coup against Adam Gase.
Of course. Hey, listen, and if he does it, wonderful. That means, hey, if it makes the team better, I can care less. But I'm so sick of the same song and dance with them. Hey, let's hire this up and coming coordinator, or hey, let's go the college coach route and let's bring all my buddies as assistants in from Baylor. That doesn't do it.
It is funny when you get interviewed in the NFL as a head coach. You have to tell your plan, your direction, whatever, but also you have to give them a list of names of people you would consider for offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Until your friends who are out of work, or whatever.
However,
the ownership usually just looks at it and says, "Oh, okay, well they use those names. Okay, thanks very much," and then they use those names. We'll keep this list, and then they use that name to go from there. So. Yeah. You're listening to Sports Talk on 90.3 WHPC. We're located in scenic historic gardens in New York. This is Sports Talk at WHPC Sports Talk every Thursday evening, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Over there, you got Kevin Boston Hill. In front of me, you got Josh Silverberg. To the right, you've got Tristan Hamilton. My name is Chris Muldoon. Phone lines are open, 516-572-7440. But I don't know if I'm doing it right. But caller, you're on Sports Talk.
Hey, it's Mark calling in from the net game.
Oh, God.
Oh.
I thought he was getting
Did we know that?
Yes, I told you. Didn't he tell you?
No.
Oh, bad job, Mark.
I thought it was a real caller.
Yeah.
We're getting all excited.
I know,
we finally got the phones working. And
I mean, Look, I did my call out last week. There's a certain person that said something, so I tried to, tash the wounds and everything like that last week. I sent out a apology to Chris, you know who, to a certain caller that calls the show. I tried to give an apology. I gave an apology on the air last week. Kevin remembers. I did give a nice heartfelt apology.
I was
last
at dinner.
I mean, look, I gave a heartfelt apology.
I was at dinner, and then after at dinner, didn't agree with me. So Mark texts me. He's like, "Are you calling in?" I'm like, "You know where I am right now?"
But anyway, no, because you weren't here. But I did try. I did give a apology to that person, and I said, if he wants to call in and hash it out, more than happy to. I'm always open to talking about it, and I'm sorry he feels the way he feels, but I can't do anything about that person if he's not going to try.
So, Mark, you're at the Nets game?
Yeah, they had a tough loss tonight against the Trailblazers, but the building was loud tonight, louder than I've heard it in many of years.
So now they're 500, right? 30-30.
Yeah, and they're like 2 games up on the 7th seed. They're the 6th seed right now. So, but I wasn't calling about that. I wanted to call in reference to the Zion Williamson thing. What a tough thing to happen for him and for Duke. Do you think his trade value? I mean, not his trade value. His draft stock will be lowered because of this?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Because even who was it that pretty much broke his leg and he stayed out for a year and then he just came back. So I mean, it's whoever they pick him.
Monroe? No.
Kyrie.
Greg Monroe.
Kyrie missed the whole season and he still got drafted number 1.
Kyrie.
But who did Philadelphia pick up?
It was not
was it Ben
Embiid.
Simmons?
It was Embiid.
It was Embiid and Simmons, I think. They both, and then Simmons sat out a year.
Simmons out of the year.
Simmons sat out a year and still made Rookie of the Year.
And he missed the tournament too. Simmons on LSU, which didn't help his
So
strat.
I don't think him if Zion decides to shut it down the rest of the season, it's not going to hurt his draft stock at all.
And then I wanted to say another tough break for Syracuse for the Jim Boeheim incident.
Yeah, but that wasn't
this one after another.
And I don't like Boeheim, but that was nothing of his doing.
Yeah, that's nothing of his doing. I mean, look, it was dark at night. The guy got to an accident.
On an interstate.
Yeah, I mean,
that was weather related. So
and there was a car in front of him, and it did a whole.
It's nobody's fault that what happened. Look, the guy got out. The guy got into an accident. He's trying to find help.
Very unfortunate accident.
Yeah. I mean, those people that tweet out that say, "Why was the guy walking on the highway for?" Oh, because he got into an accident. Exactly. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, look, my car's broken down in the LA before. What are you going to do?
And
can't do anything.
There are people who've done it a million times, been able to walk in the LAE, but then also you see people killed on the LAE. So because doing the same thing. I did
not walk on the LAE when that happened. I knew my car was going out. I pulled it over to the side of the road, and I just stayed there. I called AAA, and then I didn't get out.
Well, AAA can't come on the LAE.
Well, somebody else
on the radio.
Yes, they can.
No, it's got to be the one. It's whoever has the.
No, AAA came from the LAE.
They can't go on. They can't go on the Northern State.
They can't go on the Parkways.
No, it was on the LAE. It happened. I was going to say AAA came from me. Is that illegal?
No. It was.
Chris, are you telling me something I don't know?
I just wanted to check in. I'll be back next week after the Islander game, John Tavares game next week.
Don't threaten us.
All right. I'll see you, Mark. Thanks for not telling me you weren't coming.
That's it. Somebody tell Sean. He's in trouble.
All right. 516-572-7440. 516-572-7440. Phone lines are open. We'd love to hear from you on WHPC Sports Talk. We're every Thursday evening, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. We still got an hour and 6 commercial-free minutes to go. It's funny because Tristan just came back in the room. You're like Clark Kent and Superman when Mark's on the phone. That was really you.
Yeah, what are you just? Yeah, really, it's crazy.
But Mark's
you have nothing to say to him?
He said that he wanted the light, so I just stepped up. I don't normally like to share, but I said, Mark, I'll do something for you. Now, I didn't even know that he called.
No, nor did I.
None of us did.
Yeah, exactly.
As Kevin said, I thought it was an important caller.
A real caller.
It was a real caller.
Even better.
I even made it worse. I said important.
Exactly. You're sugarcoating it. It wasn't important. But no, the Zion Williamson thing is, even the injury is just, we do it every day. We do it every day when you step in a hole. It's just, ouch, my neck. That's my knee.
So when Zion goes to the NBA, who does he sign a shoe deal with now? Puma?
Puma's trying.
I would. If I'm everybody, Reebok, I do
Adidas. Cousins signed to Puma, I think.
Yeah, Carson's did.
And somebody else just signed to Puma also.
Who's Porzingis? Porzingis isn't Nike, is he?
No, Porzingis is...
Well, he's European. It could be Adidas.
I think he might be... No, he is
a pony.
Porzingis is Adidas, I think. Yeah,
usually Europeans go with Adidas.
And I can't stand the fact that SNY is showing video of Porzingis shooting hoops in a Mavericks uniform. Who cares? It's over.
That's irrelevant.
It's over.
It's the Knicks that are relevant.
It's over.
I'm watching the...
They're irrelevant now, Chris. July 1st. You get it ready.
Because I'm Blue Ivy. The AAF, their uniforms. I'm watching their uniforms. I'm like,
That's off.
Is that what I think it is?
Well, they didn't make
number
payroll
one, they
last
don't.
week.
They got a big $250 million, but they don't wear their white uniforms. They go like blue against red. They don't wear like white uniforms.
They don't have
but their logo. I'm like, is that logo what I think it is?
What team?
Is that Starter? It's Starter. Now, do you guys even know what Starter? I know Kevin does.
An old
Starter was in the 80s to have a starter jacket was the thing to have. You were like Run DMC or whatever.
It was a sports apparel.
Like the 86 Mets, and it still is. But I had no idea it was still around.
Is that the thing with the star and then the line through it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that's who's doing the AAF jerseys. So I'm like, wow, that's really weird. But the reason is because they had to get someone who would do it for cut rate price, but they can't get a big company because it was a few years ago. Who was it like the NFL switched, was it from Nike to Reebok or Reebok to Nike? Wherever the NFL switched.
The Nike, NFL, I think
they had one, they went to another. They wear Nike now. So the last one I think was Reebok.
Okay.
So Reebok wants no part of it because that looks like they're the consolation prize. They lost out. Nike ain't touching it.
So this is my thing.
They get Starter.
What about the players that signed to certain? The players that are signed to certain deals. For example, Jamal Adams is signed to Jordan.
Okay.
But the NFL wears Nike, so
no, just the jerseys.
Oh, just the jerseys.
Just the jerseys.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Just the jerseys.
Yeah.
So you wear your own shoes. You have your own, just like in baseball. You have your own glove contract, your own shoe contract, as long as it's the team colors.
Oh, okay.
You got to do it that way.
But the NFL switched it now. It doesn't have to be team colors. What sport switched it that it doesn't have to be team colors anymore? Was it basketball or football?
I think it was basketball.
Oh, basketball switch,
which is very interesting because Michael Jordan first got fined when he wore the Air Jordans that were red and black. And you know what the reason he got fined? Because it was a very famous quote he gave on David Letterman.
What?
He got fined because of his Air. Do you remember the quote? He got fined because of his Air Jordans because they were red and black.
Yeah.
And they're like, why'd you get fined? Because they didn't have any white in them. So there's that pause.
Yeah.
And then David went, this was the NBA. You know, that was the famous joke, you know, the straight man kind of
because
thing.
it had red and black and no white?
No white, yeah.
See, the jerseys I miss the most is the old NHL ones because now they're at Reeboks now, but the old ones that they used to have, those were...
My son's got the new Darnold T-shirt because they're going with the new Jets logo, the old Jets, new Jets logo.
What is these? How did you?
They don't have them,
look.
They don't have them ready with the jerseys yet. So he's got the Nike T-shirt, T-shirt uniform.
I have it too with the Reeves one, but it's like stitching.
Yeah, exactly.
On the T-shirt,
it's as far as they can go. They can't go further.
Let me get a jersey. You guys get.
They're not ready yet.
Guess what kind of?
I think
do you guys know how they're going to look?
Well, that's the thing.
Nobody knows.
They're gonna. It looks like they're gonna have the Gastineau Jets thing logo.
That's fine. The logo's fine.
But they don't know yet.
But I do like...
I gotta get a jersey. I just haven't decided what player I'm gonna get yet.
Do you remember which company it was, Chris? The old NHL uniforms?
Josh.
Yeah, I do, actually.
Josh.
Which company was it? What's that?
I want to get a jersey, right, for the Jets. The new jerseys. But I don't know which player to get.
Happening?
I don't know which player to get.
Oh, yeah, okay. Marcus May. Anyway.
It's like the two little kids.
I did to get Marcus May.
You could have had this conversation when you were 8 years old.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm like, this is going to be tough.
No, see, the thing was, now, because the older... When I was younger, like I said, the first ever Jet jersey I had was a Keyshawn Johnson Jet jersey. That's the first ever one I ever had. That was 19. And the thing was, as I got older, I had two jerseys that nobody was really... I mean, they were popular, but nobody really had them. One was John Abraham. That was 94.
94, yep.
And the other one was Jericho Cotchery. And I still have it. The Jericho Cotchery one. That is the play that did for me was Cotchery was when he was playing. He was playing against the Patriots when he got tackled. He slid on the guy and he got up and he ran for a touchdown. I said, "That's the guy I want."
Did they retire his jersey?
Cotchery, no. Abraham's should retire.
Yeah.
No, you know,
it's pretty close.
But if you knew the Jets defense, they had Klecko 93, they had Gastineau 99.
Sean Ellis isn't retired. No, they didn't retire his yet either, which is surprising because he was
to be retired.
He was big in the playoffs.
To get a defensive player's number retired, you really got to be exceptional.
Watch that.
You got to be Strahan. You got to be Lawrence Taylor.
The one big game I can't remember Sean Ellison. Remember that 2010, the divisional round against New England. He bull rushed the Patriots offensive line in that game. He sacked Brady twice in that game.
Also, you got to win a World.
Jason Taylor was good.
You got to win a Super Bowl. You know, you got to be
of course,
something.
Absolutely.
You got to be an all-time. Joe Namath won a Super Bowl. Don Maynard won a Super
Curtis
Bowl.
Martin is one of the few that you're going to give it because he broke records.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's top of
Despite where he got his ring, Revis has to get it, right?
No, Revis will get it.
Revis will get
Retired?
it.
Oh, yeah, no.
He has to.
No, they'll retire his number.
That's a desirable number.
No, they'll retire Revis' number.
I don't know because at the end he basically became a mercenary.
Correct.
Yeah,
but
I think his legacy with that team and the way he was drafted.
Google him now,
no, but see, the problem with Revis is because he chased $1 after a while. He began his career with the Jets, and he got all his notoriety with the Jets. But then after a while, he just chased it. He
was always a pain in the butt.
He forced his way out to go to
Tampa Bay.
To go to Tampa, and then he just became a mercenary after that.
In fact, to Kevin's point, every article you read now, like the last 4 Darrelle Revis articles I've read, in fact, because he's interviewed for all of them, is all about that, him being a mercenary and the amount of money he business wise. They're all like Forbes had an article on him. They're all about business with him.
Everything
was about money with him. He became 1 year non-guaranteed.
And to make matters worse,
Tristan and I are agreeing.
Who did he end up going to get his championship?
Yeah.
Come on.
Number 1 rival.
But
he was the best at his position.
I see what you guys. So I know what you guys are basically saying. Long story short, before we get to the second hour,
you're just gonna give up.
No. I'm saying there's one guy.
Oh my God!
One guy that
at least pull up your Dukes or something, man. I agree with you.
No. There's one guy that's just gonna have to.
He'd be standing up.
Jamal Adams, basically. All
right.
Long story short.
Speaking of retired numbers, we got an hour to go.
Want more sports? We have more sports. Catch WHPC Sports Talk all week to get your sports fix. Break it down. Monday mornings at 9. Monday afternoons at 5. Tuesday afternoons at 5. Thursday nights at 9. And Friday afternoons at 3.
Come and get some of this.
WHPC Sports Talk. Exclusively on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC, WHPC HD Garden City, and on the iHeartRadio app.
This program is brought to you by Miller's Ale House, located at 3046 Hempstead Turnpike, across from the Tri-County Flea Market in Levittown. Open for lunch, dinner, and late night, featuring a full bar 7 days a week, where you can watch all your favorite teams while eating their zingers, wings, a cheeseburger, and more. More information is available at millersalehouse.com or by calling the Levittown location at 516-520-7000. Miller's Ale House of Levittown is a proud supporter of the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
The Nassau Community College Department of Theater and Dance presents Ken Ludwig's Moon Over Buffalo at the Nassau Community College Little Theater, presented by Special Arrangement with Samuel French, Inc., with performances Thursday, March 21st through the 31st. In this show, everything that can go wrong does go wrong. An evening of mayhem filled with comedic inventions and running gags, this comedy is full of adventure. More information is available by calling the theater box office at 516-572-7676.
The gloves are coming off. We're about to go full court press. It's time to play ball. Listen in as we tackle everything in the world of sports right now. Throw your hat in the ring at 516-572-7440. Huddle up. This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
And this is WHPC Sports Talk, and we're right here at 90.3 WHPC HD. I'm Chris Muldoon over there, Tristan Hamilton, Josh Silverberg, Kevin Boston. Actually, what's your name? Josh. And over here.
Take it easy.
Inside joke, guys.
Take it easy there, big guy.
Over here. Let me look at my phone because I have it in there. Over here, you got Kevin Boston Hill, the man, the myth, the legend, and Mark Talkatikowski, we know, is coming home from the Nets.
Well, you thought he was getting you paper.
He was going to be. He was.
You went a long way for that paper.
Yeah,
Brooklyn, apparently.
The paper.
Mark, you're not slick, man. You was holding some papers and you ran to the game, and we sort of.
The weather was so nice today. I was watching people practice baseball and some football and some soccer. It was pretty cool. Of course, we had snow yesterday. It's just ridiculous.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, it's crazy.
So what Machado said now he's playing third base.
Yeah.
Well, they got the best prospect in baseball, Fernando Tatis Jr. So, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. as well is also the best prospect in baseball. But
if you're a kid that's a former major leaguer, then you're good.
See, I never know about a shortstop though coming up, because 18-year-olds become bigger and become third basemen. So it's like, they say Tatis is a shortstop, but his dad was a third baseman. Even though his dad was only like 5'10", 5'11", his dad got big and bulky. So it's like, and his dad's
how tall is David Wright? Like around like
he's short. He's 6 feet, but You know, he's a major league. They don't do a combine for baseball players,
Right.
so you don't know how tall he really is.
So basically, you want your first baseman. I know he definitely has to be tall.
You got to be tall for that stretch.
But your third baseman has to be tall too.
He should be, but it doesn't matter. He's on the corner.
Because sometimes I see these guys jump for balls, and when they show the instant replay, like those little right over the infield, and I'm like, you knew once that ball left that bat, you wasn't going to get
your
that
third
ball.
baseman. Your third baseman and your second baseman are really just converted shortstops.
Yeah.
Because the best player growing up is always the shortstop. When they get to the highest levels, they get moved over. It's the same thing with the outfield. The center fielder is your best athlete, and you move them over to left and right, and that's what it is. That's what I say. I want to have tall guy at first base. I want to have 3 converted shortstops, second, third, and short, and I want to have 3 center fielders in the outfielder. Your catcher's your smartest guy on the team, and your pitcher could be anyway because pitchers are just talent. So they could be nutcases, whatever. I mean, they're just talent. It doesn't matter. You don't need to have a smart guy at pitcher. You just need a smart catcher. That's basically what you need. Who's going to call the pitches? But So even first, like when they used to have Nomar Garciapower playing first base, he was a converted catcher, a converted shortstop rather. Ernie Banks, one of the greatest shortstops of all time, played more games at first base than he played at shortstop, which no one knows because they're like, oh, Ernie Banks shortstop. No, Ernie Banks played more games at first base. He had a bad back. That's why he had to switch over. The weirdest thing was Robin Yount. Robin Yount was the shortstop for the Brewers. He's a Hall of Famer, 3,000 hits.
Yeah.
He went from shortstop to center field. It's like holy cow! Yeah. You're going from.
That was amazing.
It's like wow, okay. How are you going to do that? I mean, that's.
I think Paul Molitor also.
Paul Molitor.
He was everywhere.
He was all over. He was everywhere. Yeah, he was the utility guy.
He was. Which is the funny thing about like Pete Rose. Pete Rose played everywhere because he wasn't a good fielder. He just was a good hitter, but he wasn't a good fielder. So he came up as a third baseman, played second, played outfield, played first.
Him at first, yeah.
And like the Phillies, he was first base. The Expos, he was first, and that's how it was. But he was win, place, or show basically because he was a gambler. 516-572-7440. 516-572-7440. That's the number to call. Would love to hear what's on your mind. Do we think Gary Sanchez is going to have a good year this year?
Well, let's ask the Yankees.
I would love it for him to, yes. I mean, you would have to assume that, he's coming off an injury, so an injury season, so you would think that he's not going to do as badly as he did last year. He's going to play off as full a season as catchers play now.
I think that's the best question. I mean, it's like, what's Gary Sanchez going to do this year? Also, the pitchers going to be throwing to him. Not easy to catch pitchers.
He's Paxton.
So that's really the question. It's not necessarily his hitting. It's has he improved his field?
Right.
And will that relate with the mentality to the hit to the plate?
Didn't that help the Yankees in a weird way? Didn't that help the Yankees in the stadium they played in because every pass ball seemed to bounce right back to him anyway, and nobody could really steal? I'm not saying that that's a good thing that balls are getting past him, but I'm saying I remember watching a few games and balls would go past him, but they barely stole because they were so short of a.
Because they were thrown so hard, they bounce off the backstop. You're right. They bounce right.
But it affects what the guys are going to throw.
That's true.
The pitcher's going to think twice about what he's throwing.
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
Like,
and the next thing you know, you're looking at the ball like, wow.
Yeah,
that's going pretty
because
far.
you have. Most of those pitchers live off of
what they call
basically live off of breaking balls that dive down into the ground.
Yeah,
and if you're trying to throw something that starts off low and then it's going to get lower, and then on the corner,
and he doesn't go down.
And he doesn't go down and get it.
Right?
Yeah, that's the thing. And
because he doesn't turn his glove the proper way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, look, it's like the Mets and Yankees. Look, they got catchers that can hit. But the thing about it is
the Mets have pitchers that catchers that can hit?
No, catchers.
The Mets don't have catchers that can hit.
Wilson Ramos.
He's not been a Met yet.
He's a Met. He's signed already. He's a Met.
But he hasn't batted once.
He's a Met already. He's a Met. He's a Met already. He's done. It's over.
Wait, let me explain what happens to people when they become Mets.
No.
Everything they ever did.
No, you listen here.
Roberto Alomar Jr.
You never signed the team killer. I'm not saying Ramos was a team killer.
Please.
But you never signed a team killer. The Knicks killer, the Mets killer.
Juan Samuel, Robbie Alomar, these guys were great players. They came to the Mets.
Brandon Jennings,
Mike Piazza,
Xavier Nady,
Brandon Jennings. The Knicks didn't draft him, and he made his whole career about embarrassing the Knicks. The Knicks said, "Hey, you know what? We're sorry. Come play with us." And I'm just watching. I'm like, "Wow, they cloned him."
So
because
anyway, I'm actually surprised Brad Jenks was on the show right now. So anyway,
there are places where you just come. And
but look, the thing about Ramos and like you said, Sanchez is with hitting. Here's the thing: they're good pitch framers. And they can throw the ball. That's the thing. So it makes up for their defensive lack.
Their pitch framer. I think they had terrible pitch framing numbers because it's all about all those stupid sites that are all about pitch framing and WAR and all that kind of stuff.
Sanchez, I think, was number one.
Yeah,
Ramos was like 7th, I think.
So
but it's not really saying much when you also lead the league in pass ball
frame
by far.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say is, though, with Sanchez and it's even with Ramos is, are they the greatest defensive catchers? No, but they make up for it with their bat, but they can throw guys out and they pitch frame very well. That's the thing. Devin Mesoraco is a very good pitch framer.
Can we go back to
what makes Mesoraco a nice catcher, a nice backup.
I know you guys like a little history, so let me tell you a little something about Brandon Jennings. Okay?
Not bad. I'm going to tell you guys Jennings again.
Do you know
on the show?
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Do you know who Brandon Jennings? Do you know who Brandon Jennings' high school sweetheart was?
Oh God, what?
Did we have this conversation?
Moesha?
We had this conversation last
Kobe
week.
Bryant.
No, not Brandon Jennings.
We never bring Brandon Jennings.
Okay.
We never brought Brandon Jennings.
Do you
Maybe
guys
Marks?
Who his high school sweetheart was?
Swing Cash. I don't know.
No. Tiana Taylor.
What? Quick, ask me if I know who Tiana Taylor is. That's the answer.
You know who Tiana Taylor is?
I do not.
See, Chris, I thought you were going to say, ask me if I care.
I do not.
Iman Shumpert's girlfriend, the girl who had that nice,
I had no idea
that nice dance video to Kanye West's song.
Ask me who Iman Shumpert is.
Wait a second. Wait.
You don't know who
Now,
Tiana Taylor is?
I'm going crazy because I see Regina Hall is nominated for an Oscar. I remember her as the girl on 227 I had a crush on in the 80s. So I'm just like, my mind is totally blown.
I like how Tristan did this. He was like this. Now, obviously you can't see this on TV, but Tristan was like, she's like the girl. She had like the nice music video that she did.
No, but
and he does something with his hands.
Tiana Taylor.
What were you pointing at?
You know who
Tristan?
Tiana Taylor is?
No.
Iman Shumpert's girlfriend? That's the
I had
singer?
never seen her before.
Oh, Lord.
Kevin, you ever seen her before?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then there you go. And talk to Kevin about it.
Long story short.
I mean, you were talking about this, and you said she's in a music video.
Listen, long story short, she cheated on...
There's a lot of fluid to the top there, isn't it?
No, long story short, Brandon Jennings cheated on her with her best friend. But now look how things played out. She got Iman Shumpert.
Yeah, she got flat... Well, he was flat top originally.
He was flat top.
Mark used to call him flat top.
And he has a ring. That's just a little
listen about that ring. He was there.
Listen, he did what he had to do.
His name gets on the t-shirts.
I'm just looking at the pitch framing stats from last year. No, I mean, there's not. I mean,
are there like a bunch of bad catchers that are on there?
Like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it goes by.
Is Todd Pratt on there? Well, Todd Pratt was actually. I like Todd Pratt. Yeah. I love Todd Pratt actually.
But no, it's in terms of sample size. Like Darno is like top 15, but he only had 391 chances because he got injured. But number one was Jeff Mathis.
From the Angels.
Number two, and this is pitch framing. Yasmani Grandal.
Oh God, Mr. Passball.
Number three, Austin Barnes, also the Dodgers, which explains that you've got a great staff. These guys don't mind throwing to them. But Sandy Leone, Luke Malley, who are these people?
Well, the thing about Leone is
Martin Maldonado, who's pretty good. He's a free agent, I think,
right? But he can't hit though.
Jason Castro, Austin Hedges, Tyler Flowers. None of these guys. Russell Martin, who's getting paid crazy money, and I always call him Russell Wilson. Rafi Lopez, then Tomas Nido.
Hey, there we go. Listen, he's got a good arm too.
John Ryan Murphy, ex Yankee. Kylie Hashioka, Yankee.
Yeah, he's like the third string catcher.
Gary Sanchez is there. I would say he's probably 17, 18, 19, 20, somewhere in that area for pitch framing. Darno was two behind him.
Wow, that's pretty good for them.
But I'm going down to... So Ramos was with the Nationals last year, right?
No, Rays.
Rays, okay.
He was more DH last year, that was the thing. Well, actually, no, that's not true. No. He was catcher for them.
So
he was full-time catcher for them.
We're talking about Wilson Ramos, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't a National, so I'll get a fun word.
He was a full-time catcher for them. The year before he was DH.
He's nowhere in any of these rankings. I'm just trying to look to see. Yeah, he's nowhere.
I'm glad we brought up the Todd Pratt, Vance Wilson thing, because the's only two guys. When I used to go to batting practice, the only two guys...
Wilson Ramos with the Phillies last year.
No, that's what he went to the second half.
He was way down there. Way down. Mesoraco was well above him. Yeah. But I love when Vance Wilson, they had Jason Phillips and Vance Wilson. They had Wilson Phillips behind the plate.
I would say Jason Phillips, oh my God. He
was married to an Australian Olympian volleyball player.
I would still take Wilson Ramos on my team, I'm just saying.
Well, Wilson Ramos was originally a Met. He was exposed by the Mets in the Rule 5 draft, and the Nationals plucked him out.
No, but anyway, I was saying about Todd Pratt and Vance Wilson, those are the only two guys I would say at batting practice and signed every single person's baseball, card, everything.
Has anyone here ever been to spring training?
No, I really want to go, though. My parents are going next year.
My father-in-law's there right now, so it's like, you really can't.
Francesa was there. A-Rod was there yesterday having a ball with
Francesa? Francesa left his house?
He did.
So he does the show from the house?
Well, no, because he also has his winter house in Florida that he does his show from, too. He brags about that on every show.
Well, he's going to lose in the ratings book this quarter to
don't tell that to him. He'll call you a fraud.
He needs
to hear it.
He needs a partner. He needs someone there with him. He needs a partner.
He needs me? You think he needs me?
We could need you.
I don't know if you get along with
Hamilton.
We don't got to get along.
But your voice is
we just got to do a show.
Your voice is too normal.
All right, Michael.
He needs a squeaky voice guy. That's why Yastrzemski's the guy they're talking about. This guy could barely speak. But it's like 516-572-7440. 516-572-7440. That's the number call. Would love to hear what's on your mind in the world of sports.
The greatest, I think, segment from Mike and the Mad that I can remember. I think I was in like 8th grade, and they had a 20-minute segment on the bathrooms at Yankee Stadium and why they're putrid. And Francesca's screaming at Mad Dog, and Mad Dog is screaming at Francesca's house, saying how disgusting they are and they're tight. And Francesca goes, "I go to my ones in the. I don't go to the ones in the box." Dog, I go to the ones in the public, and Mad Dog was like, "Oh, what a load of garbage! You go to the one in your box."
They haven't been a team for 11 years.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to go to that Radio City thing about it. It was a year or two ago. I wanted. I started on TV. It was very, very cool actually, and the 30 for 30 was cool too about it.
Lowest rated 30 for 30 of all time.
Well, that makes sense because
who cares outside this area?
Exactly. Who cares about New York other than New York? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So,
but hey, I mean, it was good though.
If it was you grew up with that,
exactly,
right?
Which is what I did.
Which is a bunch of the executives from this tri-state area who greenlit it for ESPN is what it was. 516-572-7440. So the so we've talked about the NFL.
There's so little happening. Isn't it terrible?
Because the NBA is just starting up again from their break.
NBA, but here's the thing. I think, in my opinion, the best trade deadline is happening on Monday. The NHL trade deadline.
The NHL trade deadline?
That's the best one. That's the best one.
I mean, it depends on who you ask.
It's the most. Well, no, because it's the most superstars.
Raise your hand on the radio if you knew the NHL draft was this trade deadline was this Monday.
Me, I did, because here's the reason why. Well, it's a holiday in Canada, number one. Number two, and I know what you're going to make fun of me about that because, hey, we're not talking about Canada, so I'm doing the joke for you already.
Number one, I work for Canada. my employer's in Canada.
No, I know
my
that.
My boss is in Canada.
That's why you do the business.
I had Monday off this past Monday, not for President's Day. You know what I had this past Monday off for?
What?
Family Day. That was the holiday this past Monday in Canada.
Don't they do the thing like they leave their door unlocked and everything like that too in Canada? They leave the door unlocked too. I saw a documentary or something about
that. They could do it in certain towns in America.
But everybody doesn't they trust everybody.
The crime rate is low.
Yeah. There was always you either live in a also like in places that were very mobbed up, they leave the doors open as well because you weren't going to break into a mobbed up place.
Well, I guess because I'm a huge hockey fan, so for me, I enjoyed them. I love all sports. I love baseball, football, basketball, hockey. Baseball is my favorite. But to me, the NHL trade deadline is the most interesting one because that's where the most superstars I find.
But who's going to move?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing with the NHL trade deadline.
Matt Zuccarello. I mean, those guys. Zuccarello is a huge part of the
there are a lot of trades, right?
Oh, no, Zuccarello is a big deal.
But here's the problem with this. There are two things that are issue here. One, why do you have a trade deadline on a Monday? It's just odd time during the week,
right.
and two, all the trades are pretty much done
before,
just before, but they can't ink it. They can't ink it until a particular time. So that's why you see like 2 minutes after their deadline, everybody gets inked.
Last couple years, with the Rangers,
already taken care of it.
I think basketball trade deadline is normally way more.
Well, what's funny about the NHL?
If not them, then baseball. Then it's not even close. No, baseball is. I mean, come on, the Cespedes trade that happened a few minutes before in 2015.
That was great.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Well, that's when they made it 4 o'clock. It used to be midnight.
They literally
I remember Mark McGuire being traded by the A's to the Cardinals.
Gomez was there. Was it that he?
Baseball trades are. It's shocking if you get a big name who's going to be traded.
The
at a
NBA and the NFL don't do anything.
But baseball, but hockey and NBA trades, and even now some on football trades. Actually, there's more football trades than ever before because now GMs can text each other and all that kind of stuff. But the hockey and the NBA stuff, they got to fit the salary cap. So that's always a weird dynamic.
Well,
where
for me,
bad guys get traded with dead contracts.
And then it usually works out as rentals.
Right. And that's the point I was going to get to. When you talk about like Zuccarello and guys like that, it's now the 25th anniversary of the Rangers Stanley Cup, right?
Yes.
Go look at that team. Like how that team. Look at what they did at the trade line back in '94, and you look at what they acquired. They acquired guys that helped win them the Stanley Cup.
But
look who they traded away.
Yeah,
it's like when you look to see who they traded away, it's like, wow, that's the ultimate rental kind of thing. Where you got the veterans, they put you over the top. There's no guarantee, but you traded away 15 good years out of X, Y, and Z, as they say in Canada.
And the thing is, being a Ranger fan, and I know obviously this year and last year, they're in a rebuild process. But the years before that, like the one in 2014, I mean, when they were on that President Trophy run, and they literally got Keith Yandel, who was the top defensive player out there, literally at the 258 mark, it was put in.
I was at the Rangers game that night.
They traded Anthony Duclair instead of Dan Girardi, and I flipped out, and I said, this is horrible. But, I mean, it's just things like, it adds excitement when your team is, like, the Islanders are in it. So it's going to add, like, is Matt Duchene going to be traded to is Mark Stone
the other difference
with
regard to hockey is they play 3-4 lines, right? They play 2-3 defensive lines.
Sure.
So,
it's 3
whereas a basketball player
lines.
plays the whole game, he's 1 of 5 unless he's a 6-man. Baseball, you're 1 of 9. You're going to play. So hockey, you're going to play. If you're a top guy, you'll play 22 minutes, right? But you're not going to play the whole game. So it's going to be.
I mean, guys in hockey will get 25 minutes. Don't get even 30 minutes. I mean, Ovechkin will play 30, 35 minutes if he has to. He's an animal.
How was Ovechkin acquired? He was the number 1 overall pick.
He was the number 1 overall pick. Yeah. I mean, but it's just things like that. It's
number 2. Was he the same year as Sidney Crosby?
No. So it was the year after. But it was it's just things like that. I enjoy the trade deadline because with my team being on a rebuild, like I said, like a Zuccarello, I'm hearing a team would be. Yeah, but the thing is with the Zuccarello it could be he's pretty much the last couple of years. I mean, look, the guy got hit in the head with the puck, and he had to learn how to talk again a few months later, and he came back from that.
So that's
what I'm saying.
So he's on what team?
He's on the Rangers.
And the Rangers are looking to trade him where?
It would probably be Calgary or what I'm hearing is Nashville or Southwestern or and then you have Kevin Hayes.
Where's he from?
Zuccarello. He's from Norway.
He's from Norway.
Yes.
So it's kind of funny, that you think about that. It's like, all right, you've made your bones in New York, you're Norwegian, and now you're going to go to Calgary, or you're going to go to Tennessee.
Here's what they want to do. So the report is they would trade him. The thing is they want to first, and the thing is Jeff Goring is a very smart guy. Jeff Goring, listen, he robbed Boston last year with the Rick Nash deal. In my opinion, he robbed Tampa of the McDonough trade. He will trade Zuccarello, try to get a first and a prospect back for him. Somebody will do that. He's a free agent. The key point is Gordon wants to resign him, make him the captain.
So he's got to get a team that thinks they're one guy away from winning it all
Calgary,
to get a first-round pick.
Nashville. Calgary and Nashville both are. That's the thing.
Nashville's a great place to be. I mean, that's where all the celebrities are moving now.
Look at Kevin Hayes. Kevin Hayes, and there's reports he might go to the Bruins. And the Bruins, there's reports that Charlie McAvoy, who's from Long Beach, one of the best defensemen in the NHL, does not want to sign an extension with Boston. There's reports he wants to go to the Rangers. The question now is, Kevin Hayes is from Boston. McAvoy's from New York. I mean, look, let's see what we can do. I mean, just things like that. And it adds intrigue to the day.
But that's so rudimentary in terms of that.
No, of course, absolutely it is.
No,
of course, but at the same time, it's a matter of, okay, we need a center, you need a defenseman.
Right.
Hey, the Bruins have a surplus of defensemen. We can make this work.
The famous thing was, you had Joe DiMaggio and you had Ted Williams, all right? Joe DiMaggio was a right-handed hitter playing in Yankee Stadium. Ted Williams was a left-handed hitter playing in Fenway Park. They should have. And one night drunkenly at Touch Shore, the restaurant, a deal was made. Then, of course, it was not made. But they played in the wrong park. Ted Williams should have been playing at Yankee Stadium with that short porch, and Joe DiMaggio should have been playing with the Fenway with the Green Monster.
I think the MLB deadline is the best, in my opinion. I think, other than the NHL, to me, I think the Major League Baseball deadline, because you hear rumors go low.
When you think about the quality or the caliber of players who are going to be
football doesn't do anything. They don't do
traded.
anything.
Yes.
I don't even know what the deadline is.
It really doesn't happen until in the off season. That's when
the last 5 years though have been amazing. But think what we had. I mean, this year who moved? Mari Cooper moved this year. Khalil Mack moved this year. I mean, there were some nice trades this year.
Well, Mack was the off season. That's the thing. Cooper was at the deadline.
Well, how much into the off season was Mack though? In terms of when football started?
I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks before we won.
That's right.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 weeks before we won.
So it was like that was.
No, but we're saying deadline.
Also,
Deadline days, you had to trade.
The GMs of football were so different. They were like the stodgy types who didn't want to help the other guy. Now you realize, hey, you got to spend money to make money. You got to help the other guy to help yourself. That kind of, and you can text, and you can call, and they all came from working together with one team. They grew up together. They came up together, and it's.
You can't tell me that in 2015, when they got Cespedes, that was like you're probably sitting on you're thinking the Mets are going to be in first place. But oh my God, are they going to get a player?
The grand world of popularity, hockey, cult within a cult within a cult kind of thing. Sports fan, you got to be a hockey fan within a sports, all those kind of things. Of the big four, we'll call them. In fact, I remember doing this show where we would always say hockey was not even in the big four anymore. There was NASCAR had supplanted it, replaced it.
It's doing better now than NHL.
But it is. It's doing better now.
The playoff format, in my opinion, I think it's the best.
They put themselves. Well, it used to be that everyone makes the playoffs in hockey.
And and then they changed it to three into 2 wild cards. And I think, in my opinion, the NHL, because the beauty of it is the overtimes. They also just phenomenal. I love because in the playoffs it's phenomenal.
Well, they've also moved to places.
The shootouts, I can't stand that garbage. I hate that. They got to get rid of that. But the 3-on-3 overtime.
They've moved to places they had no business moving.
That's action, man.
The Rust Belt
overtime is
and
great.
The Sun Belt, and they just moved. Hockey went to places they had no business.
And when you go to a hockey game live, it's fun.
It's different. Yeah, you have to.
I go with Melissa because Melissa's also a big Ranger fan. My fiance as well. That's one of the big things we talk about. And the thing of it is, we wish we could go a lot more because it's so expensive. In my opinion, the Rangers and the Knicks are the two most expensive tickets in New York to get.
Of course they are.
They are. And the thing is,
because it was always corporate seats.
But when we do go, it's so much. It's a blast.
It's great to think. If you know nothing about hockey and you go to your first hockey game in person, and you feel how cold it is.
Yeah, I tell people all the time. I went to the Winter Classic last year in January.
I also recommend
Would I ever do it again? No, but was it a fun experience?
For the NBA, if you go there and you're sitting so close that you're actually sitting on the ice.
Yeah,
because they only melt the ice during the season once. Do you know why they melt? I think I told you this. They melt when the one time they melt the Madison Square Garden ice during the season. It's always under the next court. The Westminster Dog Show.
Yes.
So that's why for 2 weeks they don't play any games there because the dogs feel it under their paws. So, but that's why constantly they got the guy wiping the towel down or whatever. You think it's the athletes, with the sweat. No. It's the condensation, it's the floor. Yeah, you're talking about
seepage.
You're talking about thoroughbreds. Basketball players, they're $30 million conditioned, not 3% body fat athletes, and they're going to be slipping and falling because of stupid dogs. It's like it's all right. Okay.
Zion's going to fall through his shoes again.
It's like, do you really want to?
Zion's going to fall through his shoes.
I laugh about it. It's like, really? Do you want to lose? Your thoroughbred. It's ridiculous. If it's like.
But like I said, those are the deadlines from your MLB and NHL for me. Like I said, I know you guys aren't the biggest hockey fans.
Now that you can trade the weird contracts and you see guys, you looked at and then you can release the guy. We just saw what the
problem with the NBA is the inmates run the asylum.
But you can't say that phrase. That's the phrase that got a lot of people in trouble. That's the phrase that made the NFL settle this week.
I know. Hey, listen, you know what though? But it's true though. Players, they get to pick and choose what they want to do, where they want to go.
Well, the NBA does a good job of doing 52% player revenue sharing, 48% owner sharing. That's the way it's got to be. It's a players' league.
Did you see the video of Anthony Davis at the All-Star game when he said that all the teams were on his list and his agent was right behind the video? And his agent was like, what?
What did I say?
He has to say that.
He just added
That's what I'm saying.
And what did I say?
It was a PR move by Davis to not make himself look like a fool.
He said all 30 teams are on his list.
Do you really think that the Charlotte Hornets are on his list? Come on.
Their money is green. Whatever. You know what? If you're going to pay me top dollar, you're on. Everyone's on the list.
Are the Sacramento Kings on Anthony Davis's list?
If they're paying top dollar, they're on his list. It doesn't mean he's going there.
We thought the same thing about Machado in San Diego, right?
If you're paying me top dollar, you're on my list.
Baseball doesn't have a cap.
Right. That's the difference. But who can pay him the most money?
It'd be the Pelicans.
The team he's with. Magic Johnson. Yeah. So you can keep your own team, your own. His
agent was so. What was it? Rich Paul. Rich Paul looked behind him in the video, and you see Rich Paul go, "What?"
But that's the problem.
Who told him to say that?
And DeGrom is a symptom of the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't work for your agent.
No.
Your agent works for you. And that's the number one thing you have to remember.
And he has said everything the right way.
And these guys are like, no, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't.
Not said the right thing.
He said that his agent, he said, you have to ask my agents about it.
That's wrong.
Their discussion. No, I don't think so.
That's wrong. DeGrom's got to say.
He's not here to cause
I'm the guy.
He's not signed.
He's going to get signed because his agents just came today to St. Lucie That's the thing. They're here. They're going to be staying for the week.
Mets owe him nothing for 2 years.
Listen,
they
contract negotiations don't happen overnight.
I understand, but I can't
here's
have
a blank check. You write what you want.
I can't have
the
DeGrom putting on certain colors.
Hey, listen,
okay?
He's not going to. Don't worry
certain
about
colors
it.
DeGrom can't put on.
Don't worry about it. It's not going to happen.
I can't have that.
If you're a sport, okay, Tristan, you're the athlete here. I'm the sports team. Okay,
oh, yeah.
I'm the sports team. How much do I want to pay you, Tristan? What's the answer?
No, so I don't fall out of my shoes.
But I want to pay you. Yeah, don't kill me. It's not a number. It's just a phrase. What do I want to pay you?
The lowest possible.
Correct.
Look at Severino.
Now you're the athlete. Yeah. What do you want me to pay you?
Highest.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. Yeah. And it's two conflicting aims that have to come together. Whether you're buying and selling a house, whatever you're buying, tube socks, whatever you are.
They meet somewhere in the middle.
They got to meet somewhere in the middle.
It's always going to happen.
But sometimes there's always a little party. One of the parties are never really happy, though. I know that for sure. But you meet in the middle, and
like I said, they met in the middle during the arbitration stuff. They didn't go to arbitration. They gave him the $17 million.
But he's
so
a weird guy. He's, what is he, 32?
He's 31.
31, okay.
Yeah, 31. So you got to be cautious about what you give him.
Give him a 5-year deal.
That's fine.
They're paying him off arbitration, what, $17 million this year?
Yes.
So he's making nice money this year.
5 years, $175 million.
Whoa. I'm not giving him $175.
But now I'm giving him $175.
No.
See, but you don't have to. Because
you don't.
You have 2 years of him under your control.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
don't have
buying
to
out
do
his 2 years. You don't, and that's the thing.
That's why you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it now.
But I think, that's the problem. The fact that you don't have to, sometimes you should still want to, just out of appreciation of thank you for your Cy Young.
Right.
I know
I'm not giving DeGrom $175.
That's your issue. That's your issue, Josh. You don't appreciate. This is why stars always leave New York. We don't appreciate them.
Aaron Nola and Willie Severino didn't get $175 for
Severino.
DeGrom's going to be in pinstripes soon.
Yeah.
I can say who might be in pinstripes. Chris Sale might be in pinstripes.
Severino got scared. Severino saw what's happening. Where do I sign? He signed everything, a napkin, whatever it was. He's like, I'm signing.
Let me tell you something.
What did you want, DeGrom?
Here's the funny thing. Everybody's saying, the Mets have to deal with DeGrom. The Red Sox have one more year left with Sale. They better get him out there because the Yankees will pay Chris Sale the money.
But the Red Sox have shown me.
They will.
Chris Sale's not going to the Yankees.
Wait a second. So you're not worried about DeGrom, who's got 2 years of control left. You're more worried about him leaving than you are about Chris Sale's got 1 more year left, and the Red Sox haven't even.
He's a Mets fan. I mean,
but still, though,
you're not worried about DeGrom leaving. Why do you even care about Chris Sale?
No,
I'm worried.
I'm comparing
because I know who's gonna try to.
I'm more worried about the Jets getting Antonio Brown. I'm more worried about the Jets getting Antonio Brown.
Kevin said that DeGrom in pinstripes. I mean,
guys, I would take some time.
Yeah, DeGrom in pinstripes is not happening.
If DeGrom puts on
the Mets will never let him go there.
DeGrom has done things.
The Mets will never let him go.
Rookie of the year.
They won't let him go there.
But he's never gonna. Do you think he's going? And I don't know the answer to this. But do you think he's going to have a better year than he had this year, DeGrom?
I don't know.
I hope so.
That would be amazing.
But I think that's the Mets trying to say.
If he's got a better year than this year,
how can he have a? The only way he can have a better year is if he gets some run support.
And he goes 25-0. Right?
And the thing about the Mets is the Mets are basically
saying more wins.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He may get more wins, but I don't think his ERA is going to be as low.
But the Mets are saying to DeGrom, hey, we have 2 more years of control of you. We just give you a huge bump. Go out there and do it again, and then we'll throw the money at you.
That's what a business does.
That's what they have to do.
You are a risky young man.
But why is it that they're saying what I'm saying and you're not? Why are you only pointing it at me?
No, you're risky because I'm telling you, there's certain.
Why am I the scapegoat?
There's certain fires you don't test. I don't want to test the DeGrom fire. I don't want to test.
Why is it that Chris is saying that that's how a business runs and you're
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying just give him some money.
I will give him money, but I'm not giving him 5 years, 175. That's a complete overpay.
Please, can I have some more?
You might as well do an Oliver at that point. What's the average annual salary in 5 years? 175. What's that? That's more than Machado.
It's almost like
Tristan, you would be a God as an owner. Holy smokes!
No. I won't be. You don't think DeGrom deserves $175 million?
No, because he's too old.
Exactly.
He's had Tommy John surgery.
Yes. Guys, you got to calm down. You're jumping off
the top 205 pitcher.
Oh, I know.
You need to watch Saturday Night Fever
I
and
know.
watch what happens when you get
He's
too close to the bridge.
Where do you?
Okay, but
he's a legit ace.
Are you talking
They
about?
don't even have no
Are you
offense.
talking about extending
How
him?
come Aaron Nola didn't get that? He finished third in the Cy Young.
No offense.
Aaron Nola
no
didn't get
offense,
that.
Josh. As good as they are, they don't even have ace. There's teams that
You're
will
right.
kill
Right.
for aces.
Correct.
If they get DeGrom, they're gonna win it. Say the
Why?
Yankees. Say today. No, hold on. Say the
Why?
Yankees today with
No,
this team.
but why are you only pointing at me when Chris says the same thing
Chris,
I'm saying?
okay.
Yeah, really.
I don't gotta
I mean, I'm sick of
He's now
tired.
pointing at both of us, by the way. To our listeners.
Everybody.
Why are you only pointing at? Yeah, really.
There we
I was
go.
pointing all three of us to our listeners.
Yeah, thank you.
This is what I'm
It's
saying.
physics. It's the parallel.
Oh my goodness! Like there are other people here, but me.
this is what I'm saying. If DeGrom were to sign to the Yankees today, let's just say, right?
But he's not going
No,
to.
I know. I understand.
Okay, so he's a free agent.
If he's a free agent and he signed to the Yankees today, let's say they get a 3-year deal. Do you know out of those 3 years, the Yankees are probably winning 2 championships?
No, but yes, but here's the thing.
Why would we do that?
Do not. You're saying that it's too. Well, we're saying that example will not happen for another 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not a free agent for 2 more years. He's under your control for 2 years. That is
just
the
gave him the
problem.
biggest arbitration
That's the problem
in the history
with
of
baseball that's been signed on by the players in the collective bargaining agreement. Which is why Severino and Aaron Nola just took the money and ran because it's a bad. There's this. What do they call this? This adjustment of what's happening, and when they open up the contract again, they're going to have to do something. When you sign a contract now, you're under a baseball team's control for 6 years.
And you know who this hurts a lot? Syndergaard. Because Syndergaard is saying
he's going to be traded.
Oh,
He'll be
yeah.
traded.
I agree. I think Wheeler's going to be the guy they lock up. I think it's Wheeler and DeGrom are going to lock up.
Thor's my favorite superhero. Okay, in real
I think
life.
Wheeler and DeGrom are the two they're going to lock up.
Listen,
big Thanos guy.
Yeah.
You're not a thing guy?
Not a Loki guy?
No, Thor's my guy.
You're not a thing guy about the Rock
How about
and
Loki?
Stones?
It's Thor's brother.
Yeah.
Half-brother.
But Thor's my favorite
Yeah, that's a good point.
We don't have labels.
My thing with Syndergaard is, listen, I just love consistency. This has been one guy since the Mets been pretty much relevant. It's been DeGrom.
If there's anyone you're going to pay,
it's DeGrom.
It's him.
Yeah.
It's
just the age factor.
From a business standpoint, you'd be at his age.
Here's the thing.
I love Syndergaard. I don't want you guys to get that twisted because, like I said, I love Thor and I love Syndergaard. Syndergaard could go anywhere else.
Yeah.
But them.
This is
and I'll be fine.
Here's the thing.
I don't want you guys to have none of our players.
Here's the thing. Because right now, because DeGrom still has 2 years left. So right now, you don't lock him up now. You wait one more year.
You tell him to do it again.
Here's why.
At the
end of this season,
Do it again.
let's play out this season. Let's see why he does. Because the Cy Young and that ERA could just be an anomaly.
Right.
We want to make is his arm going to still hold intact because he came off Tommy John surgery. So let's see how he does this year.
What if he's right there?
If he's right there, then now we can talk.
If he's right there,
You're telling him to do it again. You gave him the biggest bump in salary arbitration history.
He's not R.A. Dickey, okay? This man is legit.
I know, but you gave him a $17 million bump.
If he does it again, if he does it again,
then you pay
and you
him.
don't sign him, he will get 25 to 30 in arbitration next year on his own.
Yes.
So it's one of those
I tried
things.
to say to you.
It's like life insurance. You keep
I'll
paying.
still give him his money right now.
Oh, sure. Be nice to them about it. But when I tell you,
I'll still give him his money right now. I can't get.
But there's no need to give him his money right now.
You're getting on thin ice with me.
Listen.
You listen.
I still
take it easy over there, Jamal.
Listen. I still listen.
LSU sweatshirt every week.
From a player standpoint, yes, you want the money. From an ownership standpoint, there's no need for me to give him his money right now.
This is how a business is ran. Chris Sale's on the last year of his deal. You think the Red Sox would have extended him a year before?
Guys love to wait to the last deal. Why? Like in the NBA with Steph Curry, with James Harden. This is one of my favorite moves. Listen, one of my favorite. You can laugh, Josh. That's fine.
I'm just laughing at you standing up again.
One of my favorite moves that I've ever seen.
This is great.
Steph Curry was about to be a free agent. It was time for him to get his contract. They signed him to a 200-year deal. Houston Rockets called James Harden up, said, come to the office. They said, you're our guy. We feel that you're the best player in the NBA.
Right,
we feel that you're better than Steph Curry. They extended his contract. He wasn't due for another 2-3 years. They extended his contract to $205 million. Harden, you are our guy. Don't look at that money. We think they extended it. That's what I like. I like when you don't play with your fire. Because James
Harden touches the ball every second of the game. DeGrom's every fifth day.
The Mets also have all the control.
DeGrom, if you have even decent players, is guaranteeing a win every time he starts.
The Mets also have all the control.
When I was a teenager, I knew a very rich celebrity who was buying a house. Right, who was buying a house, and he had it was a $20 million. This is the '80s. It was a $20 million house, and my father and I knew him, and he got a mortgage. And I said to my father, why he's so rich? Why would he get a mortgage? And that's what my father said to me. That's why we're not rich. You got rich people, which is the team. They don't. Why spend the money when you don't have to spend the money? That's exactly. You don't. He doesn't need the money. They're paying him $17 million. He's under the control for 2 more years. They're not. They don't have. Why do it when you don't have to do it? It's just. I know there's goodwill, but that's how thousandaires think. That's why we're poor. That's how we think. But
the whole innings limit nonsense. That's just. That's not in him.
That is not in him. That's why it's so.
He's
weird.
Not Matt Harvey.
And also, but
that's the thing. He's the complete opposite of Matt Harvey.
Yeah.
Because everybody does.
Please, if he gets in the playoffs, he's pitching.
But because once you dial yourself down in any sport, once you dial yourself down, you're just begging for an injury.
Absolutely. Look at Harvey. Harvey took it, and Steven Strasburg did it. Scott Boras was his agent.
The crazy dynamic.
What happened? It cost him the playoffs.
Crazy dynamic is the fact that the guy who was his agent, who said either pay him or trade him, is now the guy in the very spot to pay him or trade him.
And he's going
which is bizarre beyond the end.
And they're probably going to end up paying it because the Wilpons won't let him.
The guy the guy that was hired to be the GM, Brody Van Wagenen, is the guy who hypnotized them into the Cespedes deal, hypnotized DeGrom, Syndergaard, Frazier, Cano, all these guys are his Lowry, all these guys are his guy. It's bizarre. It's beyond bizarre.
He can sign all them he wants as long as they're good. I don't care less.
And Cespedes, who's only 5'10", which is kind of funny when you think about it.
Yeah, big dude.
When's he going to play again?
In the playoffs, I'll definitely take him over Stanton.
When's he going to play again?
This again.
Well, I brought up Gary Sanchez before. My next question was going to be...
He snuck that in there. He threw that under the thing.
From what I understand, the kids call that shade.
No, you should ask Chris that question.
My next question was going to be, I said about Gary Sanchez.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about Giancarlo Stanton this year? I think he's going to have a very good year.
So do I.
I think he's going to have a good year last year.
Wait, hold on. Before you jump in, Kevin, because Kevin, I want you to take, Kevin, of course, I want you to take off like a jet. I want you to take off, definitely.
Go ahead, tell Chris this. But
this is my question. This is my question, right?
Yelled at all of us last week.
Stanton, what is a good year? Because with the Yankees,
good question.
You have to put in expectations of the playoffs also.
That's because of the
so now, are you saying that he's
245 batting average for him because that's what he hits?
245. But what about playoffs? Let's talk about playoffs. We know what he's going to do in the regular season.
268 is high.
What about the
playoffs? I hate when people question playoffs because Derek Jeter had a terrible playoff. Mariano Rivera had a bad playoff one time.
If he has another bad one.
By the way, Holy Roller Mariano with the other family. By the way, pretty funny.
Oh my goodness!
What if he has another bad one?
The 100% in the hall.
Yeah.
Oh. Darn, but you forgot your chops.
I don't know, guys. If he has another bad one,
if Stanton has another bad playoff,
he's in the hall already.
Hello, Dodgers. That's what it is.
If he has another bad playoff run, then he's going to be.
Yeah, he's out.
He's let out of here.
He better not go to the Dodgers.
Kevin will drive to the airport.
He most likely will have to face us at some point during the playoffs, and that one will be.
But I think he would actually do better in the National League.
Ask Chris the question that you asked us last week. Who would you rather have? Because he yelled at all of us, but the answer that we
Chris
gave.
is going to get yelled at too. Don't worry.
I think we're talking about white.
Chris, if you had a choice in the playoffs, both players healthy, who are you choosing to back? To, obviously be the person right behind Aaron Judge.
Right.
Are you taking the guy that wear 27 in New York?
Julian Edelman?
Right. Stanton.
No, not that one.
Are you taking both of them are healthy? A healthy Stanton or a healthy Cespedes in the playoffs?
Ooh.
Here's the one either.
I'm sorry, I'm too busy laughing about healthy Cespedes.
No, but we've seen him kind of healthy. So which one
he was
would you
limping
prefer?
in the parking lot yesterday.
He was limping. Yeah. He got both heels done. But
here's my problem with the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
To me, what you do from October 2nd to October 16th could be what you do from August 2nd to August 16th. Mm-hmm. Hitters are notoriously streaky. Mm-hmm. There's a famous phrase, hitters hit until they don't. Mm-hmm. And that's so it's like, I don't think that, there's a definition of clutch. They've proven that clutch doesn't really exist, though if you ever play the game, you think clutch does exist. I don't know who's going to be better.
Closers do it more than anybody in the postseason.
Closers only have to go for one inning and throw as fast as they can.
How many times in that 2009 playoff run did the Yankees beat Joe Nathan and Francisco Rodriguez in that postseason? And those two were unbelievably clutch.
But Joe
Nathan,
Nathan,
was Brian Fuentes.
Joe Nathan gets beaten because he's a lefty closer, and lefty closers are a bad idea because who are your most hitters are righties. All right, forget
Brian
it.
Fuentes.
Now, I will admit, both of them healthy. I think Cespedes is probably the better defender than Stanton is.
Oh, you see, he gave him a compliment. That's nice of him. He gave him a compliment.
But when it comes to the plate, though, again, because
we're talking about batting.
I know when it comes to the plate, but when it comes to the plate,
I really don't want to get up again.
Well, you may have to. That's good because when it comes to the plate, again, hitting is very streaky. Yeah. So you have to. So both either one of them can go on a tear and then carry the team.
We're right here.
Both of them are capable of carrying a team.
We're right here.
I'm sure.
Who do you trust more, Kevin?
Well, Chris didn't even answer yet.
Yeah, I didn't answer.
Who do you trust
As
more?
a Mets fan who watches all 162 games and used to say Stanton is a Marlin, kill the Mets.
Yeah, who do you trust more?
But here's the thing, because I think Kevin's probably in the same boat as a Yankee fan who watches all the 162 Yankee games.
I said it too. I'd rather Stanton.
When I saw Cespedes, and it's going to be a non-answer because here's the answer. There were times where when Cespedes was coming up, I'm like, thank God it's Cespedes. Like, I couldn't wait. I knew something like Piazza, something great was going to happen. But then there was a couple of times where I was like, oh my God, it's Cespedes. It's an automatic out. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, I'm like, this guy's paying. And I'm like, holy, it does. It does. But I know what Cespedes, there were guys where I was like, we're done. This guy's an automatic out when Cespedes was there. Then there were times where he was so on. I'm like, thank God it's Cespedes. But there were times that he was so bad.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
But I think Stanton was like that this year for the Yankees.
So Chris, who you? If we're
beating around the bush with the question,
Chris, if we're gonna go play Boston right now in a Game 7 or a Game 5, we're gonna go play Boston, and you have one.
I'll tell you my answer. My answer is yes. I'll take either one.
No,
I can't.
Chris, you can't do that. You can't.
I know, but I can't tell you who's gonna do.
We're gonna go play Boston Game 5.
Even I answered it.
There's a boxing match, right? There's a priest, a rabbi, whomever in the a minister in the front row, right? Someone goes up to the priest, rabbi, minister, and says, "Rabbi, father, padre, minister, reverend, who's going to win the fight?" And you know what the priest, minister, reverend, rabbi says? The answer: whoever's got the better jaw. That's the answer. Not who does God like in this fight. It's who's got the better. Whoever can hit the ball is gonna. Whoever's gonna hit the ball is gonna win.
Chris, we're gonna. Listen, Riley's not coming on.
Yeah,
Riley's not coming on today.
Come here and go. Why?
I'm a Mets fan, so I'm gonna say Cespedes, but I have no idea. It's the guy with the better jaw, is what it is.
Where are you going?
You see why?
Aaron here. It's
like hold on. Did you see why I didn't have to yell at him? Because that was a great answer. A great answer. Of course you picked Cespedes.
We're bad people, apparently.
We're going to Game 5.
I just have to be a bad person.
Has Stanton ever been in a World Series?
No.
You may. You know what? You may hate me, but guess what? I probably hate you too.
No, we're going to
Stanton's never been in a World Series, so I have nothing to gauge it by.
Has he been in the playoffs before?
Who's that?
Stanton. Has he been in the playoffs before this?
Chris, we don't want to compare World Series because Cespedes Game 1 of the World Series did the thing in the field.
Game 5, you're going to go play Boston in Fenway.
So you can't compare.
And you're going to pick
Defenders.
You don't want to do that.
The wall.
Chris, duck.
The wall.
Lagara should have been playing center.
Cespedes also did the worst.
Should have been in the
what Josh is saying, Game 1 of the World Series.
Yeah.
Oh,
but here's what should have happened. Lagara should have been in center.
Cespedes touch. I know he strikes out.
Cespedes should have been in left, and Conforto should have been the DH.
Cespedes makes contact.
I think Stanton is a hell of a player. I think Stanton's in the wrong place for him, and I think he's got Aaron Judge as a teammate, which really screws things up for him because everyone's going to look at Aaron Judge and him, and I don't think Aaron Judge can hit a curveball. I mean, I think Aaron Judge can't hit a curveball. I think
he has issues with that stuff.
But I think Aaron Judge can take a walk, and Stanton won't. Stanton will not take a walk.
They're actually talking about putting Judge in the leadoff spot.
Right.
Oh, you said Judge will take a walk.
Take a walk. Yeah. Based on balls, not take a walk that way.
I got to agree with you.
Chris, can I paint this picture, guys? I'm sorry. Let me do this better. Let's do this better. We're in Fenway. Right now, let's just say we put on...
I want a righty bat.
Let's just say right now we put on...
I'm a Fenway, I want a righty bat.
It's two out, two strikes. You're down one. You have Judge at second.
I was actually going to give you.
Who are you? Are you picking Stanton or are you picking Cespedes? Game 5.
Sanchez.
No, you're not.
I'm pinch hitting.
I got one.
Sanchez came about a foot and a half.
Fenway Park.
From
Jet Lowry.
Game 5.
324 runners in scoring position.
I want a line drive over short.
Give me Cano or Jet Lowry.
Second, I want to ball in the game.
324 last year, and he's a lefty.
Who's going to give me a line drive?
You know
Jet Lowry.
Who's going to swing down or hard? Who's going to swing down? It's softball. It's down and hard.
Who has a down swing?
I agree with Kevin. Give me Garrett Sanchez.
Chris, just say the name so Josh don't got to think that I'm picking a person. Say the name, Chris.
I want Andujar.
Aaron Hicks.
Who you pick? Just say the name, Chris, so Josh don't think that I'm picking sides here.
I don't know.
Why is it just me? What Kevin? What you arguing with?
No, because you think I'm picking sides, but he already said Cespedes, but I want him to confirm.
Because you're right next to him. I'm too far away from him to really...
If I was sitting there and you sitting there, I'm still the one being picked on by genius over here to my left.
It's such a hypothetical. I don't know. It's like whoever's hot is who I want.
And that's the answer, is whoever's hot.
So here's what happened.
Because both players are fully capable of carrying their team.
I'll play devil's advocate to Kevin. Okay, I'll play devil's advocate to Kevin. So in Game 4, Kimbrel was struggling in that ninth inning. Okay, guys were getting walked, guys were getting hits. The one guy that got the first out in that inning was Stanton. In that inning, he struck out.
Of course he did.
I'm playing devil's advocate. Now, if you're asking me who would I rather have in the... I mean, look, as I brought the Chris,
Game 6 of the 86 World Series.
That World Series made me cringe when he made that play in center field, because that ultimately almost set the tone for how that series was going to go. Who basket catches in the World Series like the idiot that he did? And I love Cespedes, but that was just a show me.
We're not talking about defense. We're not talking about defense.
That was a show me moment by him.
We're not talking about defense.
But that was
we already know who's the better defender.
No, but that was a show. I agree with you. But that was a show me moment by Cespedes, and that's why his brain hit a break apart.
Remember before Cespedes got hurt? How many people he threw out in like 20 games?
Oh, I agree. That Cubs series.
I already said he was a better defender. I gave you that one.
Cespedes was acquired on July 31st. 2015. What Cespedes did in August and September, and actually,
this is what happens when there's no sports going on. We argue about Cespedes and
however, answer this question: Does Cespedes do anything in this 2015 playoffs, or was it the guy who's playing second base?
Daniel Murphy carried them.
Daniel Murphy
carried them.
No,
and when did they lose? When Daniel Murphy stopped hitting.
And that's the point.
Stop.
Yes, like you just said, it happened.
I was at Game 3. Game 4, I was at Game 4. I was there in the stands. Murphy made the error.
They don't get there without Cespedes in August and September, and then what they did in October with. Will Daniel Murphy hit 20 home runs in Colorado this year?
Where'd you get the napkin from?
Listen, I wrote it. This is my problem. This is my problem.
Did you find it on the floor?
We're seeing Stanton in Florida, right? This is my biggest issue with you guys.
Miami.
With Miami, Florida, it's everywhere. But let me tell you guys what's my biggest issue. And especially you, Kevin. I'm going to give Josh a break, so you can just sit back and relax.
No, I want Smith over here.
I'm going to give you.
So how about the Jamal Adams guy, huh?
We saw Judge get hurt. Judge get hurt. We looked for a savior. Stanton, please take us there. The Yankees were on a big losing streak. He couldn't do nothing.
You're doing that praying again. I told you about that.
That's the guy you trust?
Listen.
Stanton? Stanton?
I told you about praying to that guy above. I told you about that.
You guys needed somebody.
You're right.
He got hurt.
How are our ratings right now? Are they good? They got to be great. He's having the greatest rate in WHPC history.
When we thought the season was over after Judge was hurt, then Didi got hurt? We was like, wow. Now everybody's looking at Stanton. Stanton with the same post game. I'm just struggling. It's just a little flunk. Yeah, we know. We need help. And you're gonna sit there and say Stanton?
He needs to go back to Michael.
I just like the fact that he's doing this, and Kevin's just like sitting back going,
Stanton.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, let me get my rebuttal.
Here's the thing.
Can I be on a promo? Stanton.
Here's the thing. Stanton struggled this year, but you have to also think Stanton's coming. He was coming from a smaller market into the biggest market in baseball.
And you know what else he did? He came from a big baseball field to a small one, and he struggled. Stanton!
He's still in 270 with 36 home runs.
I don't expect that to happen this year.
I'm not here.
Stanton's going to come in. Stanton will come into his own this year.
So I'm crazy for wanting to sign the Cy Young winner, but you hoping that he comes and does something.
I'm not hoping at all. I know.
Came back. Is this still going on?
The greatest thing would be if there's a Subway Series this year, Mets, Yankees, and we actually get to answer the question in real world example. It's like, well, Cespedes will still be out, but it'll be Stanton.
Kevin, you tell me if you want to go to to a
That's why
World
he
Series
added
game,
the
I'll sit
depth.
right next to you.
Jeff
I'll sit right
McNeil,
next
man.
to you.
Jeff
Kevin.
McNeil's gonna be a good player.
You guys don't want to do that.
I like Jeff McNeil.
Tickets will be so expensive. We'll have to buy 2 innings worth.
Yeah,
all right, you go in first, and I go in, then you go in.
Imagine they're both in first place. You can't even get to the stadium anymore.
Everybody's actually healthy. You telling me
I can't pay to park when they have the playoffs.
Yeah, we're gonna face the Yankees, and then we're gonna have to probably let's just say we throw DeGrom, Syndergaard, and Wheeler. What Subway Series? What Subway Series?
Second.
It won't be close.
Wait a second. How come you always say you're this positive guru when I've been saying so last week and you've been
talking
making
about
fun of me?
Whoa. I'm talking about the starting pitching.
But isn't that what happened?
I'm talking about the starting pitching.
What's wrong
the
with
Yankees,
their
we know
bullpen
what
and
happens
lineup?
with the starting
What's wrong
pitching.
with
We
their
know what
bullpen?
DeGrom does and
Their
stuff.
bullpen is very good.
You're right.
The Mets have a very good bullpen.
They'll shut the Yankees down for 6 innings.
The Mets bullpen is right there with the
what happens in the 7th inning on?
No.
We're
not worried about that. We have the bench for that now.
Listen, the Mets
have
the Mets have a very good bullpen.
We have the bullpen
now. The Mets
now.
have a very good bullpen.
That was last year. We have the bullpen now.
The Mets, you can arguably make the case they have a top 5 bullpen in baseball right now.
I wouldn't say top 5.
That's bold. Top 5.
You gotta
top 5 in the National League.
You gotta have 7, 8, 9 though.
That's big case.
I mean, you're talking Lugo, Gazelman,
Wilson, Lugo, Gazelman, Amelia, Diaz.
Yeah, I mean,
what's wrong with that?
But you got to have the 7, 8, 9 like the Yankees have.
They do.
With Zach with a K.
They do.
The Mets got rid of Ramos?
They do. They do.
The closer Ramos.
Yeah, the Diaz. I said Diaz, not Ramos. What do you say?
No, we got rid of him.
Oh, from Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know
they do.
that.
That's why they say Wilson.
Yeah,
They say Wilson, Familia, Diaz.
No, who was the closer they got?
Oh,
a
AJ
year and a half. AJ Ramos.
He stinks. He's still a free agent. No, but and then they got Lugo and Gazelman, which adds to the bullpen.
See, Lugo and Gazelman
and
should
you
be
had
starters.
Avalon, who has had very good years the last couple of years. They got him on a cheap
With the
deal, and
Angels?
they got Zamora. They got Drew Smith, which are nice players.
Okay, who do the Yankees have?
Not enough.
Chapman. And,
I know who the Yankees have. No, I know who the Yankees have.
So what's wrong with comparing it to Wilson?
The Yankees have
Chapman, Zach Britton.
Yeah, I don't like Chapman.
and
I don't like
Betances?
Chapman. I don't like Chapman.
You don't like Chapman?
No, I don't trust Chapman. That's why he struggles at the end of the year.
I don't think he
gets
can really
fatigued
come out and
easily.
say that.
That's
Chapman.
I like Ottavino.
I don't like Chapman for off the field stuff.
Yeah,
but
I
he's,
like Ottavino.
On the field is pretty good.
I like Ottavino, and Brennan is
Chapman hasn't been the same since he came over from Chicago.
He's not.
He came back from Chicago.
There's a very few closers that you're going to pick over
Diaz is
Chapman.
23, and Chapman's also, and he struggles every single year at the end of the season.
He throws the ball 108 miles an hour.
No, but that not at the end of the year he doesn't. He's too busy walking people and getting hit. That's because his fastballs are what Aaron Boone says after every press conference. Yeah, they were just a little flat today. Well, that lasts about 2 weeks with Chapman.
There's no movement, and everybody's used to it now. Because everybody throws 108 now, so it's not an anomaly
that's
anymore.
That's why a guy like Diaz and Familia and these guys, they have off speed. That's what made Mariano Rivera successful.
That's why the Mets have a Cy Young winner.
But that's what pitching is all about.
Yeah,
they don't pitch, they throw.
You got to have off-speed stuff.
You have a bunch of throwers now. You don't have any pitchers.
Ottavino. That's the thing. Ottavino is a guy that does strictly off-speed. He'll throw his fastball every now and then, but he does strictly off-speed.
And that's what you do. You
and
keep
that's why,
him off balance.
And Betances at times struggles because he doesn't go to his off-speed stuff enough. That's the killer.
And if Betances goes to his off-speed stuff, he's
God.
lights out.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
Right, but he doesn't trust it enough.
Look at Familia. Familia's got the split finger. If it's lights out, you can't hit it. Diaz, did you see Diaz's slider? That's what made him a very good closer last year. He's got arguably the nasty. Lugo's got the curveball. Lugo has the most break of any curveball in baseball.
I love Lugo, but I don't like wasting. I want him as a starter. I don't want him as.
I like him where he is because he could go 2 or 3 innings.
And I also my problem with Diaz though. There's so many guys who are great pitchers in Seattle. And then they go anywhere else, and they're not great pitchers anywhere else. You know, who's the guy that the Yankees got on the cheap because he had the Tommy John surgery? He was supposed to be a great phenom pitcher.
Who's that?
He was a big power thrower. They had him.
Freddie Garcia?
No. It was the last 7 years. It was a guy they signed. He had Tommy John surgery. They traded for him when he was hurt, and they had him let it rehabilitate for a year, and then he came on, and they were like, "Oh, he's going to be great. This is it. This is the year." He wasn't King Felix because the Mariners kept on the King Felix. It was the other guy, a Hispanic name. It was a hard-throwing guy. I don't know. We'll think about it after the show. But he was the guy, never put it all together for the Yankees.
But he's also 23. That's the thing.
Yeah, and also closers are... There's so many former ex-closers out there in terms of, that are...
I mean, look,
how old is Stanton?
Listen, the Met bullpen right now...
Stanton under 30 or is he
30? Compared to the bullpen last year with what he's done...
the bullpen is night and day. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I think they, on paper, they're top 5 in my opinion.
They're good.
He's completely overhauled that bullpen. There's not.
I was going to say top 10.
There is not a single.
I was going to say top 10.
There's basically not a single guy that's left in that bullpen other than I think Gazelman and Lugo.
But I'm not going. I can't say before a single pitch has been thrown.
Well, of course, but I'm saying if we're doing rankings
based upon what they've done in the past, what the back of the baseball card says, and all that stuff. Speaking of back of the baseball card, we're going to start our closing music right now.
Raleigh, you're lucky.
You got Kevin Boston Hill on Thursdays, 3:30 to 4 o'clock, NCC Forum. Kevin Boston Hill.
It's been a pleasure once again to be with you, all you guys, and let's try to do it again next week.
Josh Silverberg, I think that's your name.
Yeah, I think so. It's a wrestling thing. Roman Reigns will be coming back on Monday from his leukemia stuff that he had. So he's actually going to be giving an update on how everything is going. And there's reports that he could be wrestling at WrestleMania this year, which would be an unbelievable turnaround if he does that, considering where he was just a month ago.
Tristan Hamilton.
That was very impressive. I just want to close up by saying, happy Black History Month. I know we're winding down, and you guys know the key of the whole show tonight. Stanton!
All right, I'm Chris Muldoon. Stay tuned for Riley and FM Punk. Listen to me on Piano Man, Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. The Billy Joel radio show on WHPC. It's the WHPC Sports Talk every Thursday evening, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. All right, buddy. We will see you on the airwaves.